warning for Wisconsin.
This isn't a tornado warning.
Good evening, I'm David Dutton in the Stormwatch America Command Center. We're live from Atlanta with continuing coverage of a tornado outbreak that is occurring right now across the central U.S. and the southern U.S. and mid-south. We have numerous
severe thunderstorm warning for Arkansas.
Numerous severe thunderstorm warnings and numerous severe weather warnings. 44 severe weather warnings are currently in effect. We have a PDS tornado watch in effect along the Mississippi River, basically. And again, numerous tornado warnings. There's a tornado outbreak has begun across the Mid-South, including Tennessee. Here are the latest warnings. Wisconsin, tornado warning for Columbia and Dane counties. Indiana, tornado warning for LaPorte, Marshall, St. Joseph, Stark counties. Tennessee, tornado warning for Benton, Carroll, Chester, Decatur, Henderson, Henry, and Madison.
There is one new severe thunderstorm warning for Arkansas and Missouri.
In Illinois, a tornado warning for Washington County. Illinois, tornado warning for Franklin, Jackson, Jefferson, Perry, and Williamson counties. Tornado warning in Missouri for Butler and Stoddard counties. In Illinois, a tornado warning for Cumberland and Jasper counties. In Arkansas, a tornado warning for Cross and St. Francis counties. In Arkansas, a tornado warning for Arkansas and Monroe counties. In Illinois, a tornado warning for Randolph County. Tornado warning for Arkansas, Louisiana, and Texas for Lafayette, Miller, Bosler, Caddo, Cass, and Marion counties. In Missouri, a tornado warning is in effect for Effingham County and Illinois.
Affecting Arkansas and Illinois.
In Indiana, a tornado warning for Pulaski and Stark counties. A tornado warning in Missouri for Bollinger, Cape Girardeau, Perry counties. Tornado warning in Arkansas, Missouri for Clay, Greene, and Duncan counties. Tornado warning in Illinois for Clay and Effingham counties. Tornado warning in Arkansas for Jackson, White, and Woodruff counties. In Arkansas, a tornado warning for Cross, Poinsett, St. Francis counties. In Arkansas, a tornado warning for Craighead, Cross, and Poinsett counties. In Arkansas, a tornado warning for Monroe, Perry, and Woodruff counties. In Missouri, a tornado warning for Bollinger, Perry counties. And those are the latest tornado warnings. And we have new tornado warnings coming in right now.
This isn't a tornado warning.
And a new tornado warning now for...
There is one new tornado warning for Arkansas and Missouri.
Arkansas and Missouri for Clay, Craighead, Greene, Mississippi, Duncan, and Penobscot counties. In Arkansas, tornado warning for Lawrence, Randolph counties.
There is one new tornado warning for Arkansas.
In Illinois, Jasper and Richland counties tornado warning. In Arkansas and County, for the state of Arkansas, a new tornado warning just in for Lonoke, Prairie, White, and Woodruff counties. In Wisconsin, a tornado warning for Columbia and Dade counties. And if I didn't mention it, in Illinois, a new tornado warning for Jasper and Richland counties. Nearly 50 severe weather warnings are in effect right now. And I'm trying to see if any of these are confirmed, at least at the time.
There is one new severe thunderstorm warning for Kentucky.
Richland County, Illinois, we have a confirmed tornado warning now. Let's switch over to Fox Weather briefly for more.
on the left side, right?
Oh yeah, look at that. Let's take that full. Yeah, look at that. Left side of the screen, in between the trees, getting past all the buildings.
Can we
Get some
throw this up in
clearing
the
there. Look at
telestrator?
that. You can see that wall
Brandon shot.
starting to come down. And the thing is, this is the storm that's been cycling, Ari. It's had a history of producing a confirmed tornado, particularly dangerous situation. Look at all the rain too, gosh. And you know, we're in a zone.
Look at this. Oh my goodness, that's a tornado, I think. That looks like it's down. Can we route the... Yeah, okay. Let's see, I've got...
There it is, let's get some clearing.
Okay, look at this, that's a tornado.
Yep.
Look at the size of that thing. Can we also route this
Gary's
so I can
looking right
telestrate
at
on it? Mike, oh, I guess we don't need to telestrate now. Hey, let's see if we can get Brandon in here. I know you're a little bit busy right now, Brandon, but talk about this storm, this huge storm.
And we have a new tornado warning coming in now for Jefferson County in Illinois. Again, new tornado warning just in for Jefferson County in Illinois.
There are 2 new warnings affecting Arkansas and Illinois and Missouri.
We have a tornado on the ground right now in Arkansas, in Carway. You're in Carway, Arkansas.
There is 1 new severe thunderstorm warning for Arkansas.
This is a large, destructive tornado on the ground right now in Carway. We're trying to get a video up here for you, a live video of a tornado on the ground. This is a large, destructive tornado that is on the ground right now in Carway, Arkansas. If you're in the path of this storm, you need to seek shelter immediately. Let's go to this live video from Fox Weather. For some reason we're having technical difficulties, but you see this large destructive tornado here in Carway, Arkansas. This is a very large destructive tornado. If you're in the path of this storm, you need to get to a basement, center part of your house, away from windows. This is a potentially deadly weather situation. Again, basement, center part of your house, a storm pit if you have one. This is a very large destructive tornado here in Carway, Arkansas. You're watching this live here on Fox Weather.
You're a little bit on the busy side here, but can you explain to me what this scene is like, and how far away do you think you are from the tornado, and what does it sound like?
Ari, I'm going to keep this quick. It's coming very close to me. Horizontal vortices on the side of this thing. There is an audible roar with it right now. This thing is easily EF4+. It is rare to see a tornado this strong. It is about a mile and a half southwest of me, heading in my direction.
All right, make sure to keep yourself safe there, obviously. I mean, I know you've seen a lot of tornadoes before. How often is it that you see a tornado that produces these little horizontal satellite vortices like we're seeing on this? This reminds me of April 27th, 2011. Just crazy.
I've only seen this a handful of times in my life. This thing is a very strong tornado. It's going to pass very close to me, very close to the town of Lake City.
Look at that vortice, Ari.
Yeah.
This is also, by the way, everybody, this is a tornado emergency.
You want to come over here and telestrate too?
They just issued a tornado emergency for this tornado that is in progress. I mean, the lightning, how intense this is.
Look at the power flashes here too. And you've just got to hope that you hope that there's not stuff in its path, but look at all the debris that's around this thing.
There is one new tornado warning for Arkansas.
You just hate to see a scene like that. That's a big tornado.
It makes you take pause.
See the inflow into the storm here. That's the fuel for it.
I don't know if our audio was working there, but this is David back in the Stormwatch America Command Center here in Atlanta. You're watching a large destructive tornado on the ground right now in Lake City, Arkansas, via Fox Weather and Brendan Kopic. This is these are homes being lifted up into this tornado, and we're seeing power flashes. This is a very large, deadly tornado right now in Lake City, Arkansas. If you're in the path of the storm, you need to get to a storm pit, storm shelter, center part of your house, a basement, away from windows immediately. This is a very dangerous and life-threatening weather event. Remain calm, but get somewhere quickly. This is a potentially deadly weather event that is occurring right now in Lake City, Arkansas. A large destructive tornado. Tornado emergency now in effect for Lake City, Arkansas. Again, tornado emergency in effect for Lake City, Arkansas. If you're in Lake City, a confirmed large and extremely dangerous tornado is on the ground in Lake City.
There is one new severe thunderstorm warning for Arkansas.
And it is moving to the northeast at 40 miles per hour. Craighead, Mississippi County, Poinsett, Duckland, and Pemscott in Arkansas, Missouri. Tornado warning. This is a confirmed tornado warning. Tornado emergency for Lake City, Arkansas.
Understandably.
Well, I know a lot of the time what Brandon will do is, go try to help people that have been affected by it. I'm sure he's probably going to do some damage surveying here, but that went right through Lake City, if I'm not mistaken. Or is it on its way toward Lake City? I think it just went toward...
Well, I think what worries me here is, look how quickly we were able to see that, and then how quickly it's out of view, right? Because not only do you have trees and businesses, and you just kind of get out of the way with the intersections of interstates and state highways and roadways, but gosh.
Yeah, it passed through the west side of Lake City. It's still moving through Lake City as we speak. It's headed toward Black Oak, Monette, Leachville. It looks like this is going to be a long track one, and you just saw it right there. You saw, 5 to 10 minutes of it?
Yeah.
In real time.
Well, that's the thing, too. If you pull out radar, you can see that this is a leading cell.
Yeah.
So there's not a lot of competition out ahead of this. And you look, if we can pull up radar, if we can pull this out, you can see how this cell is leading the pack. There's nothing slowing it down. There's no competition once it crosses the Mississippi River. It's basically got an environment that's pristine.
The tornado is so strong that it's messing with the velocity data on the radar. It looks very messy. Look at this. So the west and the north sides of Lake City getting hit by a large, violent tornado. Yep, not surprising. Debris up to 20,000 feet being reported in this storm. I'm going to try to bring in Brandon again. Hey, Brandon, I'm not sure if you have a minute here. We saw that tornado pass right across the road, right in front of you. And is that something you have ever experienced before at that range? That was unbelievable. That's all right. We're going to keep trying with Brandon. We understand that. All right. Look at this shot. Unbelievable. Okay, so here's what we got, guys. I think the tornado's back in here somewhere. Maybe rain-wrapped right now. I believe what you're seeing here is rain and hail.
It passed on the north side of Lake City.
That's right.
It's going to continue up north.
David Dutton back here in the Storm Center. We want to keep you updated, everyone updated on the latest warnings for your local area. In Illinois, a tornado warning has been issued now for Clark, Coles, and Edgar counties. In Arkansas, new tornado warning for Craighead, Mississippi County, and Poinsett counties in Arkansas for the next 44 minutes. New tornado warning for Crittenden, Lee, Phillips, St. Francis counties for about another hour. And a tornado warning in Jackson and Woodruff counties in Arkansas for the next 45 minutes. We have a tornado emergency now for Lake City, Arkansas. If you're in this area, in areas off to the northeast, a storm pit, a basement, center part of your house away from windows, remain calm and you'll be okay. But it is urgent. If you know anybody that is in this area and may not be paying attention to the weather, even if you don't even live there, call them and let them know that there is a large destructive tornado on the ground. We just seen it here live a few moments ago, courtesy of Fox Weather and Brandon Kopic here in Arkansas, an amazing, very large tornado that apparently went through a house and had several power flashes there. And this tornado is in an environment where it will just continue for a while. This has no means of dissipating anytime soon. There's nothing ahead of it. So it's on its own, and it has fuel to fire. So again, storm pit, basement, center part of your house, away from windows, mobile homes, evacuate. And we're seeing the tornado again. This is the one we're talking about in Lake City, Arkansas, where we have a tornado emergency right now. This means a large destructive tornado is headed toward a major populated area.
Yeah, we're having some issues with the comms, but okay, this tornado's still in progress, Brandon. It was just a huge wedge tornado, went right across the street right in front of you. Now it looks kind of more like a cone tornado. Either way, it's extremely violent. It's been doing a ton of damage in Lake City. Just what are you seeing right now? No, I think we're having some comms issues. That's okay. We'll see if he pops in or not. All right, that's okay. We understand. Let's, can we throw this in the telestrator also real quick? Lake City, Arkansas, the north side of Lake City is where this tornado is.
This is a tornado warning.
New tornado warning now issued for Marion County in Illinois. A severe thunderstorm capable of producing tornado was near Woodlawn, 13 miles southeast of Centrella, moving northeast at 60. Also, new tornado warning for Clark, Coles, and Edgar counties. Severe thunderstorm producing a tornado was located near Casey, moving northeast at 70.
There is one new severe thunderstorm warning for Arkansas.
Again, tornado emergency right now for Lake City and Black Oak, Arkansas. You're seeing it there live on your screen. A large and very destructive tornado is on the ground headed your way. This is a tornado emergency for Lake City and Black Oak, Arkansas. It is vital that you take a shelter in the basement or center part of your house.
You know, this is one of those rare situations, Jane, where we don't have to say anything. I mean, look at this.
What concerns me is how you've got folks on the road and how close those power flashes were. You know, this is a case study in getting to your safe shelter and, knowing where that is, no matter where your location is. You got the trucks pulled off to the side as they begin to turn around, obviously seeing what's in front of them, headed in their direction. This is now Black Oak, Arkansas, is Brandon Kopic's location.
I'm trying to figure out. He is driving forwards with the camera facing backwards, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think this tornado is in pursuit of
that's
where
because
he is.
I mean, the idea that Brandon is trying to move away from it that quickly always has me nervous, and then seeing those cars that are staying in the areas where Brandon was.
Right, and then you saw the big wheelers, the 18-wheelers start to turn around.
All right, Brandon, I hear you trying to talk to us. What's the situation right now? Is a tornado chasing you?
Illinois and Missouri.
I don't know. Do we want to? There we go.
Not really. I'm getting out ahead of it, trying to stay in a safe spot. Sorry, visual is about to be hard because of the precip. It is passing just behind me at this time.
Yeah, you can see all the, I can't tell if that's debris or hail, but there's clearly some heavy rain falling too. This tornado looks extremely violent. I mean, not long ago, it just crossed the road in front of you while it was a huge wedge tornado. You had these satellite horizontal vortices all around it. I mean, look how violent that is. There's so much debris flying around. Just give us an idea of what you're seeing right now. The lightning, the power flashes, my goodness.
All I can say right now, Ari, is praise God I was where I was. There were two truck drivers parked on the road, and I screamed at them to turn around, and they got out of the path.
I mean,
Wow.
we saw that in real time.
Unbelievable. All right, my button's not working anymore. I think we might have lost. Oh, here we go. Let's try this again. Yeah, Brandon, looking at this right now, it almost looks like, I mean, the staying power with this tornado is unbelievable. This is not one of those,
This is a tornado warning.
violent one.
New tornado warnings coming in now for Cosclovoco County in Indiana, Marshall County in Indiana. Severe thunderstorm producing a tornado near Plymouth, moving northeast at 70. And a confirmed tornado warning now for Illinois and Missouri, for Alexander, Union, Cape Girardeau, and Scott counties. A large confirmed extremely dangerous tornado was located near Dutchtown, moving to the northeast at 50. Again, a confirmed large and extremely dangerous tornado near Dutchtown, moving northeast at 50. This storm has produced damage in Delta. We have this just in to Stormwatch America.
This is a tornado warning.
Another confirmed tornado warning now just coming in for Arkansas and Louisiana. This is for Columbia County, Lafayette County, Milner County, Nevada County, Bossier County, and Caddo County. A confirmed tornado was located 7 miles west of Bradley, moving to the northeast at 45.
There are 3 new warnings affecting Illinois and Missouri and Tennessee and Wisconsin.
Again, a new confirmed tornado warning for Arkansas and Louisiana. Confirmed tornado 7 miles west of Bradley, moving to the northeast at 45. If you're in these areas where any of these tornado warnings are, especially the confirmed tornado warnings, a confirmed tornado warning means that the tornado is on the ground. And this one in Arkansas, in Black Oak, Arkansas, is very large. You're seeing it there on your screen. And we have a tornado emergency now from Monette, Arkansas. A large, violent tornado is headed your way in Monette. You need to get to a storm pit up underground if possible, if not basement, center part of your house, away from windows. Evacuate mobile homes and vehicles, and get into a block building right away. Remain calm and you'll be fine. But it's urgent for you to take some sort of action immediately. A large, violent tornado is on the ground, headed your way. Tornado emergency from Monette, Arkansas.
But it's starting to get lost in the rain. So we're going to lose the light. These tornadoes aren't always visible, right?
Right, and then we get the high precip events, which we are expecting once that line starts to meet up with these discrete cells. And so you're not going to be able to see anything, which is why when that warning is issued, you need to take that as if it is happening any minute.
This is a tornado warning.
New tornado warning now in Kentucky for Simpson and Warren counties. Severe thunderstorm producing a tornado was located near Portland, moving north at 50. Again, new tornado warning in Kentucky for Simpson and Warren counties.
I'm just looking at this line. It is beginning to catch up.
Tornado emergency continues from Monette, Arkansas. Tornado emergency from Monette, Arkansas.
I mean, this is headed right in that direction, and there's nothing that's going to slow this up.
Yeah, the new update on this, and it should go without saying, but this is a tornado emergency now officially from the National Weather Service for the city of Leachville. This is in northeastern Arkansas. It's a small town. We're pretty significantly east of Jonesboro here, very close to the border with Missouri. And we have a large, violent tornado that is in progress right now. We just had video of it live on the stream of our exclusive storm tracker, Brandon Kopic. It was a big wedge tornado, extremely violent. Brandon says he's sure that it's EF3+. I would agree with his analysis based on just the amount of violence that you could see in that tornado as it was crossing the road.
The vorticity signatures.
Ripping up structures.
The debris getting lofted up, the intense lightning that came from this particular cell. So, I mean, this is on approach to Leachville, and it's not too far away from
Tornado warning.
New tornado warning now for Missouri for New Madrid and Stoddard counties. Severe thunderstorm producing a tornado near Glenonville, moving to the northeast at 40. Again, new tornado warning in Missouri, New Madrid, and Stoddard counties.
The worst storms right now are just west of the Mississippi River. We're talking southeastern Missouri, southern Illinois, about to enter western Kentucky and western Tennessee. Extremely dangerous situation here.
Yeah.
And just to, yeah, go ahead.
No, this northeast corner of Arkansas is exactly where we have multiple lined up confirmed tornadoes, and then embedded within the line on the north side near Cape Girardeau is where we have a confirmed tornado. But look at this. It's 1, 2, 3, at least 4 confirmed tornadoes south of Jonesboro.
And then the one that's flashing black, again, for the town of Leachville, that's a tornado emergency. And it's not very often you see those. It's only when we're 100% sure there's a big tornado in progress and it's headed toward a relatively populated area like the middle of a town.
This is a tornado warning.
That's the thing. You're not even seeing much red.
We have a new tornado warning now. This is a confirmed tornado warning for Arkansas, for Craighead Cross, Mississippi, and Poinsett. A confirmed tornado over Cherry Valley, moving to the northeast at 60. Again, a confirmed tornado warning on the ground. Arkansas, Craighead Cross, Mississippi County, and Poinsett counties in Arkansas for the next hour. Confirmed tornado near Cherry Valley or 9 miles north of Wine, moving northeast at 60. Tornado emergency continues in Arkansas. If you're in the path of this large, extremely dangerous tornado we've been showing you here over the last several minutes, please get to a storm pit somewhere up underground if possible. If not, get to a basement, center part of your house, evacuate mobile homes or vehicles, and get to a block building. This is remain calm, but this is a very dangerous, potentially life-threatening weather event. You need to take action immediately. We have a line of tornadoes on the ground right now, about to cross over the Mississippi River into western Tennessee, and could threaten the downtown Memphis area here shortly. What we want to try to do right now is, we'll go back to Fox Weather in a few moments, but we want to go now to a local station in the Memphis area as we continue our live team coverage of this tornado outbreak.
The whole family in there. Maybe put bicycle helmets on.
And this is going to be Action News 5 in Memphis, Tennessee.
Ashley? Okay, so this was sent to us from 20 minutes ago. So this was Bay, Arkansas, 20 minutes ago. Tornado on the ground. I remind you again, we are under a high risk for severe weather over much of the Mid-South tonight. We are looking at an environment that would support long track, multiple tornadoes, and that's what we're seeing play out this evening. We're already seeing BTI, Barron Tornado Indicator, scales ranging from 6 to 10 for many of these, or 6 to 9, I should say. Have we seen a 10 yet? We saw a 9.8.
I believe the highest we've gotten is 9.3.
9.3.
Yeah.
So, all right, so we have already seen high BTIs. We have seen visual confirmation, and now we have multiple tornado warnings that are making their way toward the Mississippi River. And each and every one of these polygons you see that are red outlined in white, that's where we have visual confirmation of tornadoes on the ground. These are not radar indicated. So if you are in Dyer County, if you are in Shelby County, Tipton, Lauderdale, Haywood County, Fayette County, I want you to have your severe weather plan ready to go and to enact it at a moment's notice, because all of this is moving in our direction and it will continue to impact the Action News 5 coverage area. I want to take that lightning off there so you can see exactly what.
This is a tornado warning.
And we have a new tornado warning now for Lonoke, Monroe, and Prairie counties in Arkansas. A severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was near Parker's Corner, moving to the northeast at 45. Again, a new tornado warning in Arkansas, Lonoke, Monroe, and Prairie counties in Arkansas for about the next 40 minutes. Again, we're in the middle of a tornado outbreak right now in the central and southern part of the United States. We have a line of confirmed tornadoes on the ground right now along the Mississippi River, about to enter western Tennessee. And it is approaching the Memphis area, very highly populated area. So please stay with us if you live in Memphis. I would go ahead and take tornado safety precautions right now. We have a lot going on right now, and stay with us. We're going to cover it for you the very best we can.
With that, I can pretty much tell you where that.
This is a tornado warning.
And we have a new tornado warning now in Illinois for Hamilton, Jefferson, Wayne, and White counties. Storm near Blueford, moving to the east at 50. Again, tornado warning, new one for Illinois, Hamilton, Jefferson, Wayne, and White County.
14. South Haven at 822 will move into Memphis. This cell, and it will likely still be rotating as it does at 829. So Memphis, your first alert to a potential tornadic cell entering the city of Memphis right around just before 8:30 this evening. 8:40 will move into Bartlett. So that tornado warning, that is going to go, this current warning will go until 7:46, but I don't see any signs of that system or that particular supercell weakening. So I think that will likely be extended. Now let's move a little farther to the north. Let's track that cell that's moving on through Wynne, Arkansas right now. Let me clear some of this info off. And again, visual confirmation of a tornado on the ground near Wynne, Arkansas, in Cross County. Here we go. And I can even see the rotation right there already. So I'm going to go ahead and just track it from this point right here. We'll take it off to the east-northeast. Levesque, 711. Get in your storm shelter. Be there right now. Parkin, 722. Bird Eye, you'll be in at 724. It will get into Earl at 730. We'll see it then move into Twist at 733. Should get into Anderson Tully right around 737. Joyland at 743. Booker at 746. So that's the cell we're looking at there. As we take a look north now, you can see more activity that is just north of that, and this is the cell that is now impacting Cross County and Poinsett County. So really, we've got overlapping confirmed tornadoes there with the multiple cells in that area. And let me track. A little confusing. So we just put a track on this cell right here. All right, so that is for this polygon. Let's take a look at this one right here, which I think is where we're seeing the rotation Let me scope in just a little bit. Man, that's tough to see. Let me clear this off. Let me do that again, because I think I saw 3 distinct areas. One right there. Looks like there's another one there, south of Harrisburg, and then another one just to the north and east of Harrisburg. We put the next red radar on there. Get that scope off. That's even harder to see. But I tell you what, I'm going to track it from right here because I know there's circulation there. There we go. Lepanto, 721. Did I get that right, Eric? Am I on the right spot?
I agree with you. And there was confirmation that was on the ground over there near Truman.
All right. So Caraway, 729. Kaiser, 741. Big Lake, 747. Then moves into Osceola, 752. Luxora, 757. Should get into Gold Dust at about 802. And then move into Blytheville at 806. We now move just to the north, and there is another tornado warning, with visual confirmation just to the north of that area. And as I track that, let's see if I can see it. This is where it starts to get complicated because we've got multiple overlapping tornado warnings right now. So we're just going to go through here and see if we can pick out the areas of rotation or potential rotation where it may be. All right, so I see this area right here. There's one right there. Do you see that one? And then another one right there.
Just east of, I'd say, Truman and Bay, kind of the Lake City. I mean, some of these are the same exact areas that just got hit by that first one.
Yeah, so we're seeing like just multiple cells impact those areas. So with that, let's go back now. Let's put a track on these 2 areas. That other one, let me see again. Give me 1 second. Please bear with me.
This is a tornado warning.
In Illinois, we have a new tornado warning now for Clay County. A severe thunderstorm producing a tornado was over Xena, moving to the northeast at 75 miles an hour. Again, a new tornado warning in Illinois for Clay County, moving to the northeast at 75 miles an hour. This is continuing coverage of a tornado outbreak. We have confirmed tornadoes on the ground along the Mississippi River in Arkansas, headed into western Tennessee at this hour. This is a very dangerous and life-threatening event. This will be moving into major population cities, including the Memphis area, within the hour. Let's go to Action News 5 in Memphis for the very latest on this potentially life-threatening weather event.
Of Missouri all the way down to the south. So we do have I don't want to call it good news, but the tornado emergency that was in place here for the...
This is a tornado warning.
And we have a new tornado warning just in for Indiana for Park, Vermillion, and Vigo counties. A severe thunderstorm producing a tornado was near Terre Haute, moving northeast at 65. Again, new tornado warning Indiana for Park, Vermillion, and Vigo counties in Indiana for the next 20 minutes. Again, we have multiple tornado warnings. We have 60 severe weather warnings in effect right now. Some of those are severe thunderstorm warnings, but we have multiple tornado warnings like this one that is just coming in to Stormwatch America.
This is a tornado warning.
And a new tornado warning coming in now for Arkansas, for Monroe, Prairie, and Woodruff counties. Severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located near Des Arc, moving northeast at 50. Again, a new tornado warning in Arkansas for Monroe, Prairie, and Woodruff counties, moving to the northeast at 50 miles an hour. Now let's go back to Action News 5 in the Memphis area covering confirmed tornado warnings.
There are 2 new warnings affecting Illinois and Indiana and Kentucky and Missouri.
This is a tornado warning.
We have another tornado warning coming in right now in Indiana for Elkhart, Closloco, and Noble counties. Severe thunderstorm producing a tornado was near Bourbon, moved to the east at 65. Again, in Indiana, a new tornado warning for Elkhart, Tuscovo, and Noble counties in Indiana for the next 34 minutes.
And not having the gas. But after we do that, we're going to start heading north along 55 and try to meet up with this storm that's coming out of Wynn, or just south of Wynn. And we'll kind of be in between the two cells coming across Highway 64. You got the one.
This is a tornado warning.
Just in, new tornado warning for Illinois and Indiana for Edwards, Wabash, and Gibson counties. A thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located near Mount Carmel, moving northeast at 55.
On the same track, it's probably going to parallel I-40 all the way up to about Crittenden County if it holds together. And these storms so far have not seen much in the way of changes as far as the weather is concerned. This is a look outside. This is as we're coming across the river. You see off in the distance some of the lights. That's Southland Casino off in the distance. And yeah, even as the sun is setting this evening, we can still see, as you see the lightning popping off there, off in the distance. That's actually that storm that's over in eastern Cross County. That's what we're looking at right there. But we're still 30 miles away from that. You saw that lightning strike pop off there. I mean, just, the atmosphere is primed at this point between now and about 10 o'clock tonight that these storms will rotate. And in some instances, the atmosphere has tried to turn over, but it's still there. It's still pretty warm. It's still very muggy at this point. And unfortunately for us, that's fueling the fire for the potential for strong and severe thunderstorms probably for the next couple of hours in the very least. And don't forget that after this comes to an end, as the front kind of lays itself down onto I-40 later on tonight.
We got some video from Monette, Arkansas, of the tornado on the ground. And I'm not even sure if you've got a video monitor to see this, but I want our folks at home to check it out. This was just sent to us. Let's go to that video. Check this out. You see the dust around the rope tornado itself as it's coming on down at the surface. This is a confirmed tornado on the ground in Monette, Arkansas. And just by the way, this was from Randy Smith. Thank you, Randy, for that video and sending that to us. By the way, this was from 10 minutes ago. If you have video, we want to see it. If you can safely send it to us, send it to desk@WMCTV.com, or you can submit it right through the Action News 5 First Alert Weather app. And this certainly helps us. To give you an idea of what we're dealing with, the Severe Storms Laboratory is here tonight, the National Severe Storms Laboratory, as a result of this highly charged environment. I want to show you Futurecast again, because here we are right now at 7:13. It's got a great handle on the storms themselves. I want to show you how the rest of the night is going to play out, because look, we're in for a long night tonight. This is still going to be churning to the east right around 9 o'clock. And within the line, individual embedded rotating supercells will continue to be a possibility, and that will extend well into the late night hours. And by 10, 11 o'clock tonight, we can likely see this moving through the Memphis metro and continuing to move east into West Tennessee, northern Mississippi. Looks like there may be a little bit of a lull in the very early morning hours of Thursday, but that highly charged environment will continue as a strong southerly flow will remain in place, and a front that's driving all of this will just stall right over the area. It's going to keep severe weather in play through Saturday. First alert again for tomorrow, a first alert weather day for Friday, a first alert weather day for Saturday, and this is just the initial round. So we're looking at more than 80 hours of severe thunderstorms possibly impacting the Mid-South from now through the late night hours of Saturday. So now we're back to our first alert Doppler radar, the live view. You can see all the lightning that's on here, and there is a lot of tornado. As a matter of fact, I see one or two severe thunderstorm warnings, but it's primarily all tornado warnings as this activity continues to make a push to the east, coming in out of the south-southwest. But again, it's making a slow push to the east. And look, that southerly flow is going to continue to feed this as that line slowly moves into West Tennessee. So it's going to be a little while before we see these storms move out. That's why I want everybody to be at home. Make sure you know the safest place to be in your home should a tornado warning be issued for your specific location. And also make sure your family is aware of what to do should a tornado warning be issued for your location. But right now, we've got a lot of them, and most of them confined into northeastern Arkansas, where we're finding multiple tornado warnings right now at this time. So let's take a closer look at what's going on here. I'm going to get some of this lightning off. Let's zoom in a little tighter, start putting some tracks on these storms. I'm going to start down here at the south again, as we've got another that cell that's still working. And again, a visually confirmed tornado warning. That is, whenever you see the polygon outlined in white, that's an indication that there has been confirmation of a tornado. So with that, we put the scope on here. Let's take a look at the big picture. It's a little disorganized, but at the same time, there's still some decent rotation, a well-defined inflow notch right there, and that whole supercell is just rotating. So let me clear that off. Let's put that next red back on there, and let's track it from that area of rotation, taking it off to the north and northeast. So Forest City, 722. Widener, it's going to come in at 727. Should get into Heth at about 744. Then it will move into Parkin at 753. Parkin has already had a tornado on the ground there. Earl, Arkansas, 759. Crawfordsville, 804. Then it moves into West Memphis at 811. We'll get into Turl at about 819. So that's what we're looking at with that first cell. There may be another one issued as this other cell comes in from behind that, so we can see multiple back-to-back tornado warnings as the evening progresses. So once one moves through, we can't let our guard down, because it's going to be a while before this whole line is finally out of here. So now let me move a little farther to the north. Let's take a look at these cells where we have tornado warnings as well. Right now, we've got this warning. I'll hit the info here. That tornado warning in effect for Crittenden, Mississippi, Poinsett, and Tifton County. That is going to go until 8 o'clock. That's likely going to be the tornado warning that will impact Lauderdale County and more of Tifton County as it moves off to the east. As a matter of fact, as I put this into motion, you can see it moving in that direction. So with that in mind, let's track it. Let me clear that off.
This is a tornado warning.
And we have a new tornado warning now, and this is a confirmed tornado warning now in Arkansas for Columbia, Lafayette, Nevada, and Union counties. A confirmed tornado was located near Canfield, or 9 miles south of Stamps, moving to the northeast at 45. Again, a new confirmed tornado warning. This is a tornado on the ground now in Arkansas for Columbia, Lafayette, Nevada, and Union counties for the next 40 minutes. You need to get to a storm pit up underground if possible. If not, basement, send a part of your house away from windows. Evacuate mobile homes and cars. Get to a blocked building if you can. Again, a confirmed tornado warning in Arkansas for Columbia, Lafayette, Nevada, and Union. We have a line of tornadoes right now along the Mississippi River moving into western Tennessee, and will be in the Memphis area here soon. And this is a major populated area, and we're watching this very closely as we go back to Action News 5 in Memphis.
Big picture once again, because it's always helpful to just kind of zoom out. And look, folks that are in this area right here,
northern Mississippi over the past, I'd say, hour and a half or so, it's been pretty tame, pretty quiet. But you've been fortunate with that, honestly.
Yeah, you've been in good shape. Had that band that came through in the afternoon hours, but I think as we get into the remainder of the overnight hours, really, Eric, the activity is going to be along and west of 55 and along and north of 40.
Agreed. One thing to note too, just got a report that there was baseball-sized hail that fell over in Forest City right now, and that's a storm I know that we're keeping a close eye on. That's looking like it's going to flip Crittenden County, and I'd say probably Tipton and Lauderdale County. Do you think
This is a tornado warning.
And a new tornado warning is in effect now for Illinois, for Jackson, Johnson, Union, and Williamson counties. A tornado-producing storm is located near Anna, moving northeast at 55. This is in effect for the next 38 minutes. Again, a new tornado warning for Illinois, for Jackson, Johnson, Union, and Williamson counties.
A track on that leading edge. One more time, all right? So here we go. I'm tracking it from the leading edge of the rain. I'm going to give it a little more of an easterly lean. There we go. Earl, 7:30. Then it's going to move into West Memphis at 7:41. We'll see it get into Turl at 7:49. Millington at 8:13. Atoka will move in at 8:26. Covington, 8:41. It's going to then move into Ashport at 8:48. We'll get into Ripley at about 8:59. So that's
This is a tornado warning.
And we have a new tornado warning now in Arkansas and Tennessee for Crittenden, Cross, Poinsett, St. Francis, and Shelby counties. A severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado near Madison, moving northeast at 50. This is in effect for the next hour. Again, a new tornado warning for Arkansas and Tennessee for Crittenden, Cross, Poinsett, St. Francis, and Shelby counties.
St. Francis counties right near Forest City. So this is moving to the northeast here at about 50 to 55 miles per hour. The BTI, or the Barron Tornado Index number that's on this, is an 8.4. If you're over into Earl, if you're in Madison, Palestine, over towards Parkin, let me rattle this off correctly. Madison at 724, Widener at 725, Parkin at 743, Earl at 747, and Crawfordsville at 751. That is your first alert here to a tornado that has been confirmed on the ground that is moving to the northeast here at about 50 to 55 miles per hour. So you want to treat that with respect. And hey, so I'll be curious to see now if we have the sirens go off here, Ron, into Shelby County, because now there is a small sliver of Shelby County that just was included in a tornado warning here with that given storm that we were just talking about. So
we're going to hear those in just a moment. Agreed. And look, you want to. Yeah, sirens are already going off in West Memphis as a result of that.
I'm pretty sure Kim Clark is over in West Memphis. Okay, good to know. They're going inside right now.
Can we get a report from her in a little while? Also, Amani Williams is up in Dyersburg. Mm-hmm. I want to check in with her because Dyersburg has.
This is a tornado warning.
New tornado warning now for Illinois, Indiana, and Kentucky for Gallatin, White, Gibson, Boise, Vanderburgh, Henderson, and Union counties. Severe thunderstorm producing a tornado near Shawneetown, moving to the northeast at 60. This is in effect for the next hour. Again, a new tornado warning for Illinois, Indiana, Kentucky, for Gallatin, White, Gibson, Boise, Vanderburgh, Henderson, and Union counties for the next hour.
Let's go to Amani Williams, who is live with us in Dyersburg right now at a storm shelter where people are hunkered down seeking safety from the storms. Amani?
Hey, Ron, like you said, I'm here in Dyersburg within Dyer County. I'm at one of the two storm shelters here in Dyersburg. This one is right beside Dyersburg High School. You can see behind me there are dozens and dozens of people here. Now, this is just the second round of the people that have been here today. Now, I was here earlier in the afternoon, and I talked to Mayor John Holden, the mayor of Dyersburg. He said that around 490 people came to this location. There was another location that's downtown. There were about 470 people at that location. So there has been a lot of people and a lot of movement here in Dyersburg. Now, earlier today, there were some questions on if the sirens were working and also if the radio transmitter was working. Those are all back up. When I came in, I did hear the sirens, and I also did get from officials that the radio transmitter is working. So that was an issue that a lot of people were concerned about. But a lot of people here in the storm shelter right now, there's a line right now. Lexi, can we go over here really quick? There's a line of people trying to get inside the storm shelter. It was just pouring down raining just a few minutes ago. You have to sign in to get in. So a lot of moving parts right now. Here you see dozens and dozens of people lining in.
This is a tornado warning.
And we have a new tornado warning now for Illinois and Missouri, for Alexander, Mississippi County, New Madrid, Scott, and Stoddard counties for the next 33 minutes. Severe thunderstorm producing a tornado was near Morehouse, moving to the northeast at 55. Again, a new tornado warning for Illinois and Missouri, for Alexander, Mississippi County, New Madrid, Scott, and Stoddard counties.
Go to your community storm shelter. Most counties around the area have a safe place to ride out strong storms. If nothing else, try to go to a church, go into a stable structure. If you have friends who have more substantially built homes, give them a call. Ask them if you can come over and ride out. Just tell them you're coming over to ride out the storms. Bring a loaf of bread and some sandwich meat, and we'll watch it and get through all of this. But at the same time, it's a serious situation. You do not want to be in a manufactured home with this coming through. Multiple tornado warnings. I'm going to get all the lightning off here in just a moment. As a matter of fact, I can do it just by hitting this button right here, just to give you an idea of where the cluster is right now. It is along and north of the 40 corridor, eastern and northeast Arkansas, but it is making a push to the east, northeast, and this will impact much of West Tennessee. Meteorologist Patrick Ellis is with Garner Montgomery in the Comfort Dynamics Storm Tracker tonight. Man, you guys have been all over the place. Tell me where you are right now and what you're seeing.
Hey guys, I told you that we had to stop and get some go-go juice over there at the Loves. But while we were there, a gentleman walked up to us and he said that he was heading to Wynn. His mom's house had been hit by the tornado that just went through Wynn, and he had gotten some reports from folks there in Cross County that the 2023, this is kind of anecdotally, we just don't know, but anecdotally, that the 2023 tornado paled in comparison to what just went through in the Lakeview area. So, again, take that for what it is, but, we did get at least that.
This is a tornado warning.
And we have a new tornado warning now in Illinois for Johnson, Union, and Williamson counties. Severe thunderstorm capable of producing both tornadoes and extensive straight-line wind damage, located near Dahlonega, moving to the northeast at 45. This is in effect for the next hour. Again, a tornado warning in Illinois for Johnson, Union, and Williamson counties. A severe thunderstorm capable of producing tornadoes and extensive straight-line wind damage. This is a very dangerous weather event. Please seek shelter now in the storm pit if you have one, if not basement, center part of your house away from windows. If you're in a manufactured home or a vehicle, please exit those now and move to a blocked building if possible.
There is one new tornado warning for Indiana.
And a new tornado warning just in now for Indiana, for Park, Putnam, and Vermillion counties. A severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was near Rockville, moving northeast at 65. Again, for the next 30 minutes, a new tornado warning in Indiana for Park, Putnam, and Vermillion counties.
County north of the 40 corridor, but no matter where you are in the city, you need to be prepared for the possibility of a tornado moving through Memphis and Shelby County this evening, as this whole cluster of storms is moving in our direction. And right now, the focus just to our north, but I want to give you a first alert. We just got word that the town of Monette and Lake City have been shut down by law enforcement as a result of a direct hit from a tornado there. We're getting reports of damage in the area, law enforcement shutting the communities down, keeping people out, storms chasers, spotters, everything. We have our sister station, KAIT in Jonesboro. We are trying to see if we can reach out to them to possibly get a live shot to find out more. But I want you to know all of this is moving in our direction. So over the next few hours, and I want to just give you a general track of this line itself. So I'm going to track it from right here to the east. And that's going to, and I may be tracking a little too fast because the general easterly progression of it, Eric, what is it, about 30, 35 miles per hour?
So, Ron, they just issued a severe thunderstorm warning for that whole entire track that is there. The National Weather Service is saying that this is moving northeast at 50.
Okay. All right. Good deal. Good. So individual cells moving at 50. That initial line itself a little slower. But look, just to give you a general idea, West Memphis 741. It's going to get into Dyersburg 816. So Amani, folks in the storm shelter in Dyersburg, 816. So shortly after 8 o'clock, you should start to feel the brunt of the more significant storms coming through. Lakeland 826, Brownsville 846, Humboldt 810 or 910. We'll get into Jackson right. Jackson has already seen a tornado warning storm there. Camden is at 822 or 1022 and 1022 into Lexington. So we've got a long night underway. But as I mentioned, West Memphis 741. Kim Clark is live at the command center in West Memphis, Arkansas right now. Let's go to Kim live. Kimmy, what do you have for us?
Hi, Joe. Hi, Ron. We are inside the Office of the Emergency Management Agency here in West Memphis, Arkansas. We had to come inside. We were outside, but the sirens have gone off twice now. They just went off. They just stopped a few moments ago. So we've taken shelter inside to try and be safe. But yes, the sirens have gone off twice here. We've seen a lot of wind, a lot of lightning, not too much thunder, no rain yet to speak of, really, maybe a few drops of rain. But that's all we have here for now. All of the team from OEM are upstairs, including the mayor of West Memphis, Arkansas, keeping tabs on what is happening. And we will keep tabs on things here as well. As soon as more things begin to happen, we'll let you know. For now, reporting live in West Memphis, I'm Kim Clark.
Be safe. Thank you very much for that. We'll check back in with you as the evening progresses. This is a look from our Comfort Dynamics Storm Tracker, First Alert Storm Tracker with meteorologist Patrick Ellis and Garner Montgomery. They are in Crittenden County right now. He is headed into the thick of it. At this moment, this is a live look. You see the scud clouds there, the frequent lightning that is in the distance. But he is headed right into the storms as they are making their way into eastern Arkansas right now. Multiple tornado warnings at this time. A lot of activity, a lot of thunder, lightning, and even strong straight line winds on the leading edge. Did I just see something there? I saw a little. I think he's going back to it. Did you see? Was there a tornado? I saw a flash of lightning, and it looked like there was a cloud on the ground. Maybe not. Maybe not. All right.
Still, it's still a little bit farther back, but we're getting in position. We're on 147 heading south to get in position to look back at it.
Okay. All right, Patrick, will you give us a heads up when you're ready to go?
All right, we'll do.
All right, buddy. Thank you. Eric, what are you looking at over there?
Just trying to figure out exactly where meteorologist Patrick Ellis is headed towards. Just trying to figure out exactly where meteorologist Patrick Ellis is headed towards right now, just as far as looking at a map and whatnot here. As far as, we obviously have an abundance of tornado warnings here across the Mid-South right now. Ron, as far as the only one that we have any sort of confirmation on the ground, is that the one that's still just to the east of Forest City now, that's relatively close to I-40?
Yeah, but I want to put a quick track on that because that's Shelby County. We've got warnings going off right now. And look, it's tranquil for much of Shelby County, but the storms are coming, and it's all a result of this tornado warning that we have in effect right now. Let me get the lightning off of it. Let me give you the info on the tornado warning. Again, it is for a northwest portion of Shelby County, but it also includes Crittenden, Poinsett, Shelby, and St. Francis. This is going to go until 8:15. The tornado threat looks like it is still kind of holding out right around the northeastern corner of St. Francis County, right along I-40. I don't know if we've got, Ashley, folks in the booth, if you can find an RDOT camera somewhere along I-40, before, we're going to need it east of Forest City. So if you can find something in that area, I'm going to do 2 tracks on this, all right? So yeah, let me know when you've got that. I'm going to do 2 tracks on this. I'm going to track it first from the area of rotation, and I think it's pretty well defined. You can even see it right there. I'll put the scope on here just to give you a better visualization of what we're talking about.
And FYI, Ron, Patrick noting that there might be a wall cloud on that storm over there.
All right. Let me put a track on this, and we're going to go back to his shot. Tell him to hold that shot, all right? Hold that shot for as long as he possibly can, but I got to get this track on here because I want to give a first alert to everybody that's in the path. So we'll track it from that area right there, and let's go ahead and bring it into Shelby County. So Jeanette, 746, Crawfordsville, 755. It's going to get into Ebony at 758, 803 into West Memphis, 810 into Turl, Harbortown, 815. Then it moves into Midtown at 819 and gets into Binghamton at 820. So from 8 to 830, this portion of the cell that's rotating is going to make its way into the city of Memphis. But let me give you a first alert to the leading edge of it and who's going to be impacted by that well ahead of the rotation. So here we go. With that, Turl, 736, then moves into Fraser, 747. It's going to get into Corona at 752, Millington, 758. Then it moves into Munford at 810, 812 into Atoka, Brighton, 818, and Covington, 828. So that's for the cell that is on track to impact Memphis and Shelby County, but still a lot of activity just to our north. We're starting to see a transition from tornado warnings to severe thunderstorm warnings, but multiple areas within this line are continuing to rotate. Now, let's take Patrick's live shot again. Does he still have the view of the wall itself? Let's take a look. Wow. And look, the only way, because the sun is set, it's dark, the only way to detect these tornadoes now, there's a little bit of twilight left, but the only way to detect this is with lightning. That's what makes this dangerous. Also, the other thing, notice all the trees. It's heavily wooded in this part of the country. That's what makes storm chasing and also nocturnal tornadoes or tornadic activity so dangerous. Because, look, even if you don't get hit directly with the tornado, the winds around it can bring these trees down, doing damage to home, blocking traffic, roadways. What an impressive, I see it. Do you see it? Right there. Let's stay with that. Stay with it.
National Weather Service saying that there's a new tornado warning coming for Southwest Cross as well. So I'm not sure if that's right.
Does Patrick see that? Look at that. Patrick, Eric, what do you see on that? Is that a lowering wall
This
cloud?
is a tornado warning.
We have a new confirmed tornado warning now for Cochita County in Arkansas. A confirmed tornado on the ground over Waldo, moving northeast at 45. Again, a confirmed tornado warning for Cochita County in Arkansas for the next 20 minutes. Confirmed tornado over Waldo, moving northeast at 45. I believe that's what we're seeing now from Action News 5 out of Memphis. Is the storm chaser from them is following right now. We just seen what appeared to be a large and very dangerous tornado on the ground just a second ago. We also have other tornado warnings in effect now in Arkansas for Crittenden, Cross, Poinsett, and St. Francis counties. A severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was over Fair Oaks, moving to the northeast at 45. A new tornado warning just coming in now for Illinois and Indiana. This is for Edwards, Wabash, Wayne, White, Gibson, and Posey counties. A severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located along a line extending from Parkersburg to 6 miles southwest of West Salem to 9 miles southeast of Fairfield, moving east at 40. This is in effect for the next hour. Again, a new tornado warning for Illinois and Indiana for Edwards, Wabash, Wayne, White, Gibson, and Poise counties.
So wall cloud, just a reminder, when it comes down, if you have a wall cloud, it can produce a tornado. Tornado needs a wall cloud to produce. A storm needs a wall cloud to produce. That one does have a wall cloud.
This is a tornado warning.
Instant first alerts here on Storm Watch America. Good evening, David Dutton in the command center here in Atlanta. We're live at 8:41 Eastern Time with continuing severe weather coverage. We have a new tornado warning just coming in now for Arkansas, Missouri, and Tennessee. For Mississippi County, Duckland, Pemscott, Dyer, Lake, and Obion. A severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was near Blytheville, moving northeast at 55. This is in effect for the next hour. Again, a new tornado warning in effect for Arkansas, Missouri, and Tennessee. For Mississippi County, Duncombe County, or Duckland County, Pemscott, Dyer, Lake, Obion counties for the next hour. We have another new tornado warning, just coming in now for Illinois, Kentucky, and Missouri. Is for Alexander, Ballard, Carlisle, and Mississippi County. The severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was over Anniston, moving northeast at 70. Again, a new tornado warning, Illinois, Kentucky, Missouri, for Alexander, Ballard, Carlisle, and Mississippi County.
As far as the potential for hail that is embedded within this too, even if we don't necessarily have a tornado around, there is certainly large enough hail that this is going to cause some damage. Don't want to quite click on the middle of this because I think it's going to be a little bit exaggerated, but ping pong to golf ball sized hail is certainly a possibility here. This is headed towards Marion, Arkansas, James Mill, and into Crittenden, Arkansas as far as the town goes. So your first alert, if you are over into Marion, be heads up and watch out for this. Over to Millington as well, this being on the Tennessee side of the Mississippi River here. This is headed towards your general area. As far as what we have here for some shear numbers, and here you go, Ron Childers, as far as the shear goes with that rotation detector. Yep. So Crawfordsville, get to your safe place right now. Especially on the north side of Marion, get in your safe place. Lansing, James Mill, Jericho, over to Gammon, as well as Island 40. All these areas that are in central portions and southern portions of Crittenden County. You want to get to that safe place right now. As far as some just different establishments that we have in that general area, we've got Cunningham Corner, some of the train tracks that are over there, Marion Alternative School, the Crawfords Water Office, the Crawfordsville City Park, over into the David S. Wallace Farms. This general area is really kind of the one we're keeping the closest eye on right now. And I don't want to forget about some of these areas that are into Mississippi County. At the least right now, and Ron, this is pretty impressive as far as that rotation detector. It almost goes all the way from Caruthersville down to really into Turl. That's a massive area.
And, that's why the high risk was placed over the area because of the potential for long track tornadoes. So, Eric, were we looking at just a sheer track of one single cell?
So I think this is just collectively the line moving from west to east here.
Okay.
So if I put this into motion here, so this is looking at a 30-minute loop in 5-hour increments. So there's going to be 6 total slides essentially that come through this. Notice that whole entire line. It is moving from the west to the east here. And keep in mind, too, some of this is really kind of the middle of the line. We saw that one tornado that probably caused a whole heck of a lot of damage here into southeastern Craighead County. That has been able to move into the boot heel right now. But this line right now, Ron, it's stretching from Blytheville pretty much all the way down to Turl. If you are in Lauderdale or if you are in Tipton counties, this is headed in your area. If you're in Ripley, Tennessee, if you're in Henning, Covington, over to Halls, you want to be aware of this and your first alert with this as well here. While this isn't necessarily tornado warned for your area, I wouldn't be surprised once this crosses over the Mississippi River if that's the case. Notice this orange line that's kind of oscillating back and forth. That's an indication of a severe thunderstorm warning that is around right now, and it will be moving itself closer to Highway 51 here in a matter of the next half hour or so. So, Ron, I do have northern Mississippi. Don't want to forget everybody else that's obviously in the viewing area right now. You're looking pretty good right now in northern Mississippi, but off to your west and to your northwest, there's still a whole heck of a lot of shower and thunderstorm development that's going to be swinging to the east and southeast here. National Weather Service with the St. Francis Crittenden storm, that's one that meteorologist Patrick Ellis is on. That has the potential 2-inch hail embedded within it as well. So, anybody that's on I-55, if they're approaching Turl from the north, they're not in a great spot right now, honestly, just because there are tornado warnings to the north, and then you have this one that's down to the south right now, approaching Clarkdale. So, Ron, another tornado warning that we have is along I-40 closer to Forest City. Actually, that one just literally expired as I went to go click on that. So,
look, if you're in Crittenden County,
all throughout
40, go to a storm shelter right now. Get to the safest place in your home. Get away from exterior walls, windows. Don't try to get a picture of this.
It's dark, folks.
Go to your storm shelter, the safest place in your home, all right? So if you have family or relatives that live in that area, call them. Let them know. Make sure they're watching. I want to check back in on Dyersburg. They're now under a tornado warning. Rain just starting to move in, but the rotating portion of this cell still just to your southwest. However, we've got a lot of activity that's coming on into play, and right now, I think that little area that's right there, do you see this? It's right there, just to the north of that 55 little banner there. Let me put a track on that, and let's take this on into, and that's a different cell. All right, so look. Let me come back into here. I'll tell you what, I'm going to zoom in a little tighter. It's a lot to see right now. The radar very cluttered. So this is where we have to pay particularly close attention at this very time. And let me tell you what, I'm going to start with a look at just general velocity. We're 90 miles from the radar site, or close to 90 miles. Tough to see there. I'm going to put another velocity overlay on it. There is some rotation right here, just to the west of Carruthersville. That is moving off to the north and northeast. That may be, I think it's that little area right there near 61. Tell you what, I'm going to track them both, all right? So bear with me for 1 second. I'm going to track this little area right here, and let's take that on through, and I'm going to include the town of Dyersburg in here. So Dyersburg, 827, that's going to come very close. I'm hopeful it's going to stay just to your north, but at the same time, you're close. So look, Steele, 754. Then it's going to get into McCullough at 8 o'clock, 8:08 into Kinfolks Ridge. Carruthersville, 812, Dyersburg, 827, 838, Newbern, 844 into Hornbeck, and then Obion at 848. So that's what we're looking at there. Patrick's in the first alert, Comfort Dynamics Storm Tracker. You've got a great visual for us right now. Can we take that live? There we go. There we go. All right. And we have to wait for the lightning to strike to be able to see it. I see the shelf cloud.
No doubt about that.
Yeah, you can see the shelf behind me. Jalen, can you put
guys,
that? There you go. I'm going to let, okay, there you go, Patrick.
This thing's got some strong inflow. I mean, pulling like it's shaking the truck right now.
So you can feel it?
Yes. 147 just south of I-40. No tornado on it, but this thing is trying hard. We've seen it try to drop down at least twice. I don't know if it made it down to the ground, because sometimes you can have the condensation funnel not actually make it all the way down to the ground, but the circulation makes it down to the ground. But right now, we're just south of the truck stops here on I-40, Highway 147, and we've got a wall cloud, and it is moving generally just north of I-40. So where you guys were talking about, again, Marion, Clarkdale, Crawfordsville, those areas, and this is heading in your direction. The circulation is definitely wrapping up, crossing Highway 64 here shortly. But I mean, this thing is trying to wind up quickly, and it's got a lot of wind associated with it. So we're about to start moving towards it a little bit, get a little bit closer to it, and work our way back behind it. But this thing's trying a tornado.
And Patrick, Eric's got to look at it on the link system. Eric, what was the BTI on that?
So the BTI right now looks like we have a 5.9, and this one's been kind of going back and forth, bouncing between about a 4.5 and a 6.5 here. So it looks like it's going to be crossing I-55, whether it's a tornado or not, within the matter of a few moments here. Clarkdale, you're looking at 6:55. The time right now is 7:55 rather. Right now the time is 7:50. So this is going to be crossing I-55 over the matter of the next few minutes. Do want to point out, as far as Shelby County is concerned, the area to keep an eye on the most is north and west of Millington right now. If you're over in Munford, I know that's over in Tipton County. Your first alert here that this could be headed towards your area, and there's, again, a look on the right-hand side of your screen of the Comfort Dynamics First Alert Storm Tracker there, as meteorologist Patrick Ellis and Gardner Montgomery, they're keeping an eye on this one right now. As far as other storms that we are keeping an eye on right now, when it does come to those tornado warnings, we do have pretty much a line of them that stretch just about from Wynne, Arkansas, all the way up into Dyersburg at this point, and even points north of that here. And Ron, there are some severe thunderstorm warnings that are down to the south right now, south of I-40 from Forest City, pretty much to Helena, West Helena. But obviously the tornado warnings are the thing we are monitoring the most.
All right, we're watching what's coming in from the west. Let me give you our High Five Midtown camera, and then I'm going to come back and talk about this, because the lightning from this view is really starting to ramp up just within the last few minutes. A lot of activity going on right now. City of Memphis overall has fared well. We've seen some strong storms come through southeastern Shelby County, Germantown, Collierville, eastern Shelby County around Eads has seen some activity, but the brunt of the storm system will impact the Memphis metro tonight. Let's go and take a look at Wynne and give you a better idea. First, we've got a tornado watch that's in effect, and that's going to remain until midnight tonight. Would not surprise me, however, if this was extended well into the overnight and early morning hours of Thursday. But I want to show you Futurecast. It's initializing very well. In other words, it's lining up. This is a forecast model, all right? So it's taking all the elements of the atmosphere and then projecting it forward about 12 hours to give us an idea of what the system's going to do. And when I say it's initializing very well, it's actually lining up almost exactly with the radar as it looks, with the live radar as it looks right now. So we've got that cell approaching Dyersburg. We've got this more potent line back into Craighead County, south into Forest City and St. Francis County. Let's move it forward to about 9 o'clock. It's going to start to become a little more linear. And notice, not a lot of movement. There's a big ridge of high pressure. It's sitting off the eastern seaboard. It's a blocking mechanism, and it's going to allow the front that's driving this to just stall and continue to drop copious amounts of rain over the area, along with keeping strong to severe storms in the area due to the strong southerly flow that will be feeding it stronger winds and moisture. By 11 o'clock tonight, we're looking at a significant band that could be impacting areas along and north of 40, but it also includes Memphis and Shelby County. But we're also going to see this main line back to the west regenerate right around midnight or so, and that's going to bring more storms into parts of northeastern Mississippi from around midnight to 3 a.m., and then just kind of linger over the area. And by early morning tomorrow, 8 o'clock, we're still going to be dealing with rain, and we still may be dealing with severe storms. Right now, here's the way it looks. A lot of activity. Let me just show you the lightning counter on this, all right? So it's almost impossible to see the radar data itself because there is so much lightning. And just on this view right here, wow, I've got 4,100, almost 4,200 strikes of lightning. But it's the tornado warnings we're tracking right now. Let me hit this and give you an idea of what's going on. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, I think 4 active tornado warnings at this time. Let's just walk through them right now and put some tracks on these to give you an idea of where they're going and who's going to get impacted. We'll start with this. Oh, I need to take this off first and then zoom in. I want to start with these cells that are going to impact Shelby County here in just a little bit. By the way, again, Shelby County, our better chance for the stronger storms is going to be between about 9 and 11 tonight, okay? So something to keep in mind. A lot of folks are going to be going to bed tonight, getting ready for work in the morning, but we've still got a long night to go. And then, so here we go. I want to track this portion of the cell itself. That is moving off to the northeast, and that is the tornado-warned portion of the cell. That's going to take that through Tipton County. So we'll see it move into Shelby Forest around 8:12. Turl, 8:04. Then it gets into Millington at 8:27. Should move into Atoka at 8:39. Osceola at 8:45. 8:55 into Covington, and then Blytheville at 9:07. 9:13 it will move into Ripley. Now we've got another tornado-warned storm. This, and by the way, just to give you an idea, this tornado warning right here, that again remains until 8:15. So Crittenden County, Cross, Poinsett, and Shelby. Let's work our way to the north and back to the west. We've got this cell, this tornado warned cell for Crittenden, Cross, Poinsett, and St. Francis. That's going to go until 8:45 tonight. A little tougher to distinguish where the circulation is within this. But I'll tell you what, let me clear that out. Let's bring that back and do it again. I think it's that area. It may have moved off. That's moved off to the east just a little bit, I do believe. Or is that on top of the other cell? I think what I'm looking at is right there. So I'll tell you what, I'll track it from just to the west of Wynn, because I think that's where we're seeing that move in. So Parkin, 8:03, Earl, 8:12. We're tracking again areas of circulation and rotation. Turl, 8:32, Shelby Forest, 8:46, Millington, 9:01. Then we'll get into Osceola at about 9:10, Brighton, 9:18, Covington, 9:27. Now let me pan up a little bit to the north, and let's show you what's going on, because we've got storms that are now approaching and moving across the Mississippi River. Tornado warning right here. This one is for Mississippi County, as well as Lauderdale and Tipton County. That's going to go until 8:30. So that's what we're looking at there. Let me clear this off. Let's put the scope on here. Let's see where we're seeing the potential rotation. A little unorganized, but at the same time, looks like it is more specifically this area right here. So I tell you what, I'm going to see how that lines up with the next rad. Yeah, let's track it from right there. Dyersburg, I'm coming to you in just a second. So Osceola, 8:10. Blytheville, 8:29. 8:48 to Ripley. Should get into Nutbush at 8:57. Then it's going to move into Caruthersville at 9:04. 9:10 into Dyersburg. Will make its way into New Bern at 9:23. Should get into Brazil at 9:30 tonight. Now we've got this storm that's approaching Dyer County and Dyersburg. Tornado warning in effect right now. This is for Dunklin, Dyer, Mississippi, and Pemiscot. That's going to go until 8:30 tonight. So let's clear that off. I'm going to zoom in just a little tighter, get a little bit of a better view. All right, I'm coming to Amani right after this, all right? So let's take a look at where we have the potential rotation. Looks like, and we talked earlier about this possibly staying just to the north of Dyersburg. Looks like it's going to be at the 155 split or 555 split there. So with that, let me clear this, and then take a look at, I think it's pretty much right here. So let's track it from there. Dyersburg, look, you're still going to get a lot of heavy rain, some possibility of some damaging wind, and we've got to watch what's coming in from the west southwest. But right now, the area where we believe the circulation is located at, I'll lose my track. So Caruthersville, 8:06, Ridgely, 8:21. Then it will move into Tiptonville at 8:30, Hornbeck at 8:38. Obion is going to move in there right around 8:44. Should get into Dixie at 8:50. Union City will move in at 9:01 and then move into Jordan at 9:06. Now, let me clear this off. I'm going to put a different track on here because I want to show you where this whole cell is going to go and impact Dyersburg and Dyer County. So Ridgely, 8:06. So we're tracking the leading edge of the heavier rain, the stronger winds. Sandburg, right around 8:15. Eldridge, right around 8:24. Should get into Dyersburg at 8:30. Then New Bern, 8:38. 8:50 into Mason Hall. 8:58 into Fulton, and should move into Martin right around 9:08. So that's the big picture. These are the storms we're tracking. Don't think we've had any new tornado. Well, I say I don't think we've had any new. Has this one just popped up? Until 8:45.
For
Lauderdale,
Crittenden, Haywood,
Mississippi, Shelby, and Tipton.
Yeah.
Yeah, that clips
This
Shelby
is a
Forest.
tornado warning.
Just put a quick track on that. And then
We have new tornado warnings now for Arkansas and Tennessee for Crittenden, Mississippi County, Haywood County, Lauderdale, Shelby, and Tipton. Severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was near Jericho, moving to the east at 55. New tornado warning for Arkansas County, Monroe, and Prairie. Severe thunderstorm producing a tornado near Stuttgart, moving northeast at 35. New tornado warning for Indiana for Davies, Green, Knox, and Sullivan. Severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was near Washington, moving northeast at 60. And a new tornado warning in Illinois for Gatlin, Hardin, Johnson, Polk, Saline, Williamson. Tornado producing storms are along the line from Marion to Creel Springs to Vienna, moving northeast at 45.
So that's what we're looking at. Folks in Dyersburg, they're hunkered down in the community storm shelter tonight. That's where our Amani Williams is, staying safely as these storms move in. You've got a report for us right now, Amani. What's going on out there?
Hey, Ron, I just saw dozens of people walk into this storm shelter drenched in rain. So it is raining outside the doors, but once you come in, you can't get out because there is a tornado warning in effect here in Dyer County, which includes Dyersburg. That's where I am right now. Now, I did talk to the mayor earlier, and he said everybody is kind of on edge right now because in 2006, 19 years ago, that is when a tornado outbreak happened right here in Dyer County. It killed 16 people and injured dozens other people. So they are making sure that they are prepared. That is why there are so many people in this storm shelter right now. We have dozens and dozens of people. It is almost only standing room in here. Earlier today, it was around 490 people in this storm shelter. And the other one across town, it was about 470 people. So people are trying to stay safe. They have their dogs in here. Friends and family are in here right now. We are trying to stay safe as well because, like I said, people have walked in drenched in rain. And like I said, they are just trying to make sure they're staying safe because they remember 19 years ago when that tornado outbreak happened right here. That's all we have for right now. We will make sure to keep you updated as the night continues. But like you said, Ron, it's going to be a long night. People have bags packed and food here with them at the shelter. But live in Dyersburg, Imani Williams, Action News 5.
Right, Amani, it's good to see you and all the folks there in Dyersburg and Dyer County in a safe, secure location tonight, because this is by no means over and won't be anytime soon. As we mentioned earlier, the towns of Monette and Lake City, Arkansas, in northeastern Arkansas near Craighead County have been shut down. We've got a live shot from that area right now. Can we take that? Are we ready to go with that? This is a look at Lake City. This is, and can you tell me again, Ashley, where this is? This is at Highway 135. I'm not even sure what I'm looking at there.
So you can see what looks to be a Tahoe, I'd say, in the middle to the left of the screen.
There's a car upside down in there. I see that on top of that,
Yep.
That debris.
On the right-hand side of your screen, yep.
Okay, so they took direct tornado hit tonight. A direct hit in Monette and Lake City, Arkansas. And this is what we're seeing. We can only hope and pray there's no injuries, no fatalities. But that is not the sight you want to see.
And that was the storm that originated, don't forget, over in, was that in Cross or Poinsett County? It was one of those two.
Yeah,
that's where it originated.
Poinsett County.
And it went to the northeast here.
Sure did. We've got a picture of the tornado as it was approaching that area. I believe, do we have that available, ready to go? Let's take it. Show me that tornado. This is the tornado we believe produced that damage that we are now getting a live view of tonight. And look, if you're watching and you're thinking, I want to go up there and go see, stay. where you are. Stay away from that area. You can't get in there anyway. Law enforcement won't let you in. That whole community, Monette and Lake City, shut down. Ashley, do we have that picture? All right, well, come back to me when you've got it. Let's go to our first alert Doppler radar right now. Let me show you what is going on there. We've still got strong storms making their way through the area. I want to put a loop on this just to give you, whoops, I went the wrong way. Let me go back. Now let me put a loop on this to give you an idea of who's going to be impacted in this. And notice it's starting to take more of a northeasterly progression. Was going due east earlier, but now because of forcing, we've got strong winds coming in out of the south. It's also feeding a tremendous amount of moisture in advance of these storms. So all the fuel for this to remain cohesive and continue to just wreak havoc across the Mid-South tonight continues, and there's still a lot of instability from the daytime highs today. We were well into the 80s across the Mid-South, and now as these storms make their way across the Mississippi River, we're seeing them slow to some degree, which makes this an even more dangerous situation and also increases the likelihood of flooding across the area. As a matter of fact, listen, we haven't even really looked at this tonight, but rainfall rates, let's check it out. Near Blythefield, it's coming down at about 1 inch in an hour. Just to the west of 55, about 1 1/3 inches per hour. You get into Cross County, north of Wynn, it's coming down at about just under 1 inch per hour. And even near and around Forest City, we're looking at just over 1 inch per hour in rainfall. And because these cells are not going to move, they could linger over an area for an hour and drop 1 inch of rain like that. And we are looking over the next 4 days at the potential of seeing anywhere from 5 to 10 inches of rainfall over the Mid-South. And more specifically, I think this area right here could see up to 12 inches of rain. That's going to lead to some massive flooding before the week is over and as we head into the weekend. Eric, what do you have for us?
Apparently over at Westside Consolidated School District in Craighead County, there was they suffered some damage there, and that's according to a Facebook post. So guys in the back, keep an eye out for that here as far as the Western Consolidated School District with some damage that did occur there. Still have tornado warnings here, obviously around the Mid-South right now. Creighton and Haywood, as well as Shelby, Lauderdale, Tipton, and Mississippi counties right now are under a tornado warning here around the Mid-South. And really, this whole entire line is pretty much tornado warned from Dyersburg almost all the way down to or through Wynn, Arkansas, for that matter. Worthwhile to note, too, I believe it was Bill Lee. He did declare a state of emergency, I believe. So that is worthwhile to point out here. As far as a rotation detector goes, we still do have some pretty solid rotation, or pretty evident rotation right now into far southern portions of Mississippi County, pretty much where Mississippi, Creighton, Shelby, and Tipton counties all meet here. So in Munford, your first alert here, watch out for the potential for some at least spinning clouds. That's probably one of the better ways to put it here, and the potential of that tornado, and that's where we do have tornado warnings here right now into that general area. So if you're over in Covington, Munford, over into Henning, while fortunately we don't have this confirmed on the ground, we are really kind of keeping a close eye on that as far as that movement to the eastern. If nothing else, there's really big hail. Looks like just around Turle here within the past about 15 minutes or so, Clarkdale as well, there was some pretty large hail that went right over I-55, and that's racing off to the northeast. Over to Ripley, Tennessee, your first alert there, too, for seeing some hail that is on your way. As far as we have for a wide view of things, northern Mississippi, you're still doing okay out of this for right now, at least. You certainly did see some strong to severe storms earlier this afternoon. Really, eastern portions of the Mid-South here, over into Hardeman County, McNairy County, even into Fayette County, Haywood, and Crockett counties. For right now, you're doing okay, but we are expecting, especially those areas that are within western Tennessee, these showers and storms to almost kind of line up right along I-40 here throughout the duration of the overnight hours. So if you haven't necessarily seen strong to severe storms yet, trust me, we're expecting to see this line of storm is almost kind of run parallel to I-40 right now. So as far as tornado warnings go, Ron, I still think the one that we got to keep the closest eye on, it's been the same one that we've been monitoring here, that meteorologist Patrick Ellis is pretty close to, into Crittenden County, as far as near Marion and over towards Hughes. That's been scooting itself to the northeast right now. Fortunately, it doesn't look like it is on the ground, and I haven't actually looked at some of these skits in a little bit here. Let's see what we have for some of those numbers. Into southern Mississippi County.
This is a tornado warning.
And here's an update on new tornado warnings that are just coming in now for Indiana for Boone, Hendricks, and Marion counties. Severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado near Brownsburg, moving to the northeast at 65. New tornado warning in Indiana for Gibson, Pike, Posey, Vanderbilt, and Warwick counties. Severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was near Darmstadt or near Fort Branch, moving to the northeast at 50. New tornado warning now in Kentucky. This is for Callaway, Graves, and Marshall counties. Severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was near Fulton, moving to the northeast at 55. Those are the latest new tornado warnings in this tornado outbreak that we're covering this evening. Thank you for joining us. I'm David Doughton, live in the Storm Watch America Command Center here in Atlanta. You're watching coverage from ABC Action News 5 in Memphis, Tennessee, where we have a line of tornado warnings that are in effect just west of Memphis right now. We're continuing to monitor this as it moves into a major metropolitan area.
Keep in mind, this was southeastern Craighead County, right near where Poinsett, Mississippi, and Craighead counties all meet. 10 to 15 houses heavily damaged, 2 victims rescued from damaged houses, 3 persons injured and receiving treatment. So that's out of Lake City that I'm getting that report from right now.
There's going to be, when the sun comes up tomorrow, there's going to be a lot of damage in that area.
But Ron, reality is, you know this, we still have a few more days of this to go. It's not like this is it, unfortunately.
Yeah, and as a matter of fact, if you're just joining us, tomorrow also a first alert weather day. We're likely going to see some storms late morning redevelop. I think we're going to see rain continue overnight, maybe a little bit of a lull in severe activity. Then we'll see more storms as we get on into the afternoon and evening tomorrow. We'll likely see widespread isolated storms in the area on Friday, capable of producing tornadoes, another first alert weather day. And then the backside of this front is going to move through the area on Saturday. That is going to bring another punch that we'll likely see begin to develop in the afternoon and continue into the evening and late night hours. So as we got into the office this afternoon, right around 1:30, we were looking at about 85 to 86 hours of potential severe weather just lingering across the Mid-South. And it has begun right on cue. And right now, we're into it, but this is only day one, ladies and gentlemen. So I want you to buckle up, strap in, because we still have a long road to go, and we've got a long night to get through tonight. These storms continue to make their way through the Action News 5 coverage area, slowly making a push to the east. And then we've got tornado warnings again, primarily for Tipton County, for Mississippi, and Lauderdale County. We see meteorologist Patrick Ellis's live shot. He is headed in, he's right around Miles City. So he's over in Crittenden County. And Eric, that flip semi, that was near Miles City, right?
That was near mile marker 18, I believe, on I-55. I'm not 100% sure what specific town it was in.
All right, I think he's headed up in that direction. So let's keep a close eye on his feed and see what he is seeing there. I also want to ask you guys to keep an eye on William Frogg's live feed. He's a local storm chaser and a longtime friend. So if he's got something that's interesting, let's go ahead and go to that as well. In the meantime, we continue to track storms tonight. Strong to severe storms impacting a large portion of the Action News 5 coverage area. Once again, these storms moving off to the east, northeast, but very, very slowly. These storms are going to come in and impact northwest Mississippi, but it's quite possible areas in northeast Mississippi don't see any activity for quite some time. So we've got a bit of a ways to go before this is all said and done. But in the meantime, let's put some tracks on here once again, and let's just work our way through this.
Hey, Ron, I think we're going to have another tornado warning, and this is an area that we haven't talked about too much. Lee County, there's about to be another one issued here.
Right here? Here, let me clear that out. That is not the right track.
I'm not 100% sure about the timing and the specifics with the. Oh, there we go. It's in place until 9 p.m. And this is moving to the northeast at 45 miles per hour.
Is that the one that's already there?
So this one was just issued here. This just updated on my system over here. You want me to take it?
Yeah, do it.
Sure.
Do it.
Maybe this was one that actually had been issued already up to this point here. Let's see. Issued a tornado warning for St. Francis, Lee, and Cross counties. So this is looking around the Forest City area, yet again, kind of under the gun here. This tornado warning is noted. It is set to expire here at 9 p.m. Let's look at some of the different data points that we have here at Action News 5 with respect to this. All right, so as far as the base velocity or the storm winds go here around this given storm, nothing's necessarily catching my eye, and this is a radar-indicated storm. It's not necessarily on the ground. I'm going to guess what the National Weather Service is keeping on is this little notch that you see towards the western side of the left-hand side of Lee County. Just to give you a little bit of an idea, let me circle it on here, is this general area that they are keeping an eye on. What do we have for a shear rate? No surprise, that's where we have that little bit of green popping up here. And as far as the potential debris detector goes, I'm not surprised. There's nothing within here. Wouldn't expect that to happen. So this is going to be the next area to really keep an eye on here. As far as some areas that are included within this warning or where this general storm is headed towards, Morrow, you're looking at 822, Palestine at 831, Forest City at 837. Worthwhile to note here, about an hour ago, there was a report of baseball-sized hail that did happen here in Forest City. So, Ron, I believe that is the largest hail report I've heard thus far as baseball-sized hail that fell in Forest City here about an hour ago. Madison at 841 and Widener at about 843. This is moving to the northeast yet again at about 45 miles per hour. So, I would say, Ron, I kind of thought that we were maybe starting to get a little bit, I don't want to say a lull even, but maybe things were starting to at least simmer down ever so slightly. But it looks like we're kind of almost getting the secondary or trietary round coming on in.
Yeah, and I think this storm is just kind of getting its second wind as it moves on into West Tennessee tonight.
And keep in mind, too, a lot of these showers and storms that are developing to the south, these are going to move through DeSoto and Shelby County here at some point.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're tracking storms tonight. We have currently 3 tornado warnings that are in effect. The first one remains in effect for Dyer County. This is going to remain for Dyer and Obion until 8:30 this evening. We've also got another tornado warning. This is in effect for Tipton, Haywood, Lauderdale, and Mississippi County. That goes until 8:45 tonight. And now they've cut it back to 8:30. And now we've got this tornado warning. This is for Cross, Lee, and St. Francis counties. This is going to go until 9 o'clock tonight. So this is what we're looking at. Let me show you this tornado video that we got in. This is from the Monette and Lake City area? Take a look at this rope tornado. Wow. Who said, okay, this is from Lee M. This was sent to us earlier this afternoon. You can see it just scraping across the ground. And that is video in Monette, Arkansas. Tornado on the ground there. Confirmed damage in that area. Lake City and the towns of Monette both shut down to the public. And you can see it intensifying there. Yeah. It goes from a rope to more of a stovepipe of sorts?
Well, and quite frankly, there's obviously a lot of storm chasers out there, and, you can't really show all of them on air just because of rights and things of that nature. Ron, I've been kind of looking at some of the different videos from different storm chasers here that have been around the Mid-South. Yeah. This specific tornado, whoa. This was one of the most ominous radar signatures that I think I've seen in my career. And keep in mind, too, Ron, how far away this was from the radar for some of that debris to get lofted as high as it looked like it was. Yeah. Obviously, and it's worthwhile to note. I know people are always going to be curious, hey, do you think this was an EF1, 0 through 5? There's no point of speculating on it. I mean, this is something that the National Weather Service, they'll do their surveys here probably as we move over the next few days. But, man, look at just the intensity of that video. You can really see it getting bigger here.
This is Crittenden County just before 7 this evening. This was sent to us from John Young. I'm not sure we're looking at a tornado. Agreed. Or a wall cloud. I think that's a high precipitation supercell thunderstorm. In other words, that's a rain shaft we're likely seeing there that is rotating. but I don't see the classic wall and shelf that we would typically see. But I will tell you this, whatever that is, I wouldn't want to have been under it at the time.
No.
And that is a brave man to video that as well. So thank you very much, John Young, for that. This is Bay, Arkansas. This is a tornado confirmed moving through Bay, Arkansas. And look at this wedge. It's just absolutely phenomenal as it's coming on through there. So again, a highly charged environment. Storm Prediction Center placing a high risk for severe storms over just about the entire Mid-South today.
Worthwhile to note, getting some reports of power outages over in Dyersburg. So as far as how many people look like that they utilize the shelter there, I mean, looks like that's a great call.
Yeah, that was a great. And look, there are several storm shelters in and around the Mid-South, and I hope that you know where your storm shelter is. My friend Craig Cece, who is a meteorologist down at Mississippi State, has put together a list of storm and tornado shelters all across the United States. So he may be worth looking into tonight. I don't have his web address, but Craig Cece, that's Ceecee. So check out. He's done some amazing work on that in locating storm shelters, especially in areas that are highly prone to tornadoes. And to my surprise, there were quite a few around the Mid-South. So Dyersburg, they have their own. I know Arlington has storm shelters as well, and a lot of folks in those shelters tonight. Speaking of Dyersburg, under a severe thunderstorm warning now. Still have the tornado warning, but I think they're going to allow that to expire. A severe thunderstorm warning will replace that. That is going to go until 9 o'clock. So this is what we're looking at this time, but we still have a lot of activity going on. And look, the Memphis Metro is really yet to be affected by anything significant other than some wind. We had some trees down in Midtown earlier today as a result of the gusting winds that came through. But as far as strong to severe storms, tornadic activity, the city of Memphis and Shelby County have been spared thus far, but we still have this line coming our way, and there's still a portion of this to the southwest that may very well clip the city of Memphis and Shelby County. Let's take a close look. I want to go to velocity first, see if we see any indications of strong rotation. I just don't. I'll clear that off. Let's go. But yeah,
Keep an eye south of Earl. Might try to have a little bit of a vortice starting to try to develop here into southern Crittenden County, right to the north of I-40 here. I don't know if we have
you have something on it? Do you have something on it right now?
You know, there's a BTI of 5.7, and that's, you know, it's a high number, but it's not the highest we've seen today. But
there's a little inflow notch developing right there.
That's exactly what I was seeing, and that, I don't know, that's the sort of stuff you got to keep an eye on here and see kind of pop up here.
And you know what I can also see?
Yeah.
And let me draw. Just keep it right there. And let me draw this out. There's a little bit of a Boeing segment right here.
Mm-hmm.
And then look, you've got this little vortice that can develop right there.
Yep.
And then there's a potential for the another vortice to develop just south of it. So we call these bookend vortices. So as you're getting this strong punch of wind coming through here, that's creating straight line wind damage, but you can get some quick spin ups right there over that area. So that's what we're seeing. Can you throw velocity on over there one more time?
Of course.
Let's take a look and see what we see. So, yeah, right there. Let me clear this off.
You want me to rock this a little bit back and forth?
Take it.
So, let's see.
And that just popped. Did you see that? That
agreed.
Just popped on the last radar scan.
Yeah. So maybe that's the next
two
one we have to
scans,
keep an eye on.
looks like.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we've got to watch that. There may be a tornado
trying to develop over there.
Yeah. And given the slow movement of the storm, Eric,
mm-hmm.
I think if a tornado did develop there, you know, typically in a line moving like that, we would see it develop and then just be gone in one or two scans. This, because of the slow progression and more northerly movement of the front, we could see this basically hang together a little longer.
Right.
So something worth watching. Hey, can you guys throw Patrick's live shot up there real quick just to look at it? I want to show you. He's headed right into the rain. He and Arnold Montgomery are in the Comfort Dynamics First Alert Storm Tracker tonight. This is their view. They are headed into the storms. Patrick has already been up around West Tennessee. He's in Arkansas now.
Was in northern Mississippi at one point.
North Mississippi at one point. And I got to tell you, he just rocks that storm tracker. And it's basically a mobile weather center.
Right.
So most of the tools we have available to us in the studio, we have outfitted our First Alert Storm Tracker with many of those same tools. So he's able to get out there in the field, not only see things, but also analyze them and get an idea of what it is he's looking at as he is moving into it and moving through it. So, and the other thing about this, Patrick is he's a long-time meteorologist, more than 10 years of experience under his belt. He's worked in some of the most active severe weather markets in the country. And so he brings those skills to the storm tracker in knowing how to chase and approach the storms safely. So he and Garner Montgomery tonight teaming up to really bring us some dynamic images as they are making their way onto the next storm. We'll check in with him in just a moment when he's got something for us. In the meantime, let's go back. Let's start tracking some more storms, shall we? We are starting to see a transition to severe thunderstorm warnings, which is good news, but at the same time, because these severe thunderstorm warnings have basically been producing tornadoes with little to no warning, we still have to treat these severe thunderstorm warnings as they were tornado warnings. So right now, I see a severe thunderstorm warning for Shelby County. This is that Bow Echo we were looking at moments ago, Eric. You gave the tip of the hat to that. So Crittenden County, Mississippi, Shelby, and Tipton County under a severe thunderstorm warning until 8:30 right now. We touched on the severe thunderstorm warning for Dyersburg. We still have an active tornado warning for Lauderdale County in Mississippi and Tipton County. That's going to go for until 8:45, so we've got another 18 minutes on that one. Checking the one that's moving through Forest City right now. Tornado warning remains in effect there for Lee, St. Francis, and Cross counties. That's going to remain until 9 o'clock tonight. And then we're watching storms that are just to the south and southwest of that as all this activity is moving on through. We're looking at hailers. The last system we dealt with on Sunday produced a lot of hail. We got a tremendous amount of hail. We've seen some pretty decent hail signatures tonight, but this has been more about the wind and the tornadic activity. So this is the one, the tornadoes really impacting the area the most. The hardest hit thus far has been right around Craighead County near Monette. Let me step out of the picture here. I want to zoom into this. So Lake City and Monette, Arkansas took a direct hit from a tornado this evening. Let me zoom on in here and show you where we're talking. Whoops, I went just a little too far.
Hey, Ron, if you flip it over to your, if you go ahead to your Viper graphic,
There we go. There we go. So these are the cells that moved on through there at the time. Here, let me clear this off too, Eric, and just let you track that on through. But look at this activity. As it came up through, then gets into western or eastern Craighead County, we saw the well-defined shear marker right there. And I believe that was when it was at about a 9.3 on the BTI.
Correct.
Am I right? And look, anytime we see that BTI, that barren tornado indicator, go above a 7, we're pretty confident there's a tornado at least forming. But you get to an 8, 9, there is likely a tornado on the ground. It is.
This is a tornado warning.
And we have a new tornado warning in effect for the next hour in Arkansas for Calhoun, Cleveland, Dallas, and Chiquita counties. Severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located near Camden, moving to the northeast at 40. We have this just in. A tornado has been spotted north of Indianapolis. Again, a tornado spotted just north of Indianapolis. If you're in that area, seek shelter immediately in the basement or center part of your house. New tornado warning to Indiana for Boone, Hamilton, Hancock, Marion counties. A tornado producing storm was near Zionsville, moving to the northeast at 65.
Let's start off with this one that's moving on through Tipton County right now. Do we have overlapping tornado warnings? We do. So there are 4 active tornado warnings in here. So with that, let's go to this one first. Oh, that we just lost one. It expired at 8:30. This is the one that's going to go until 8:45, I do believe. So, Covington, you got about another 15 minutes for the warning itself, but we can't let our guard down by any means, simply because the potential for more tornadoes to develop still remains with us. I'm going to clear this off. I want to put a track on here. Let's see if we can identify the area of potential rotation. Looks like it now may be just to the north of Covington. That little area right there, that's what I think I'm looking at. So now let me move the scope over, and that lines up well with the polygon. So that is about to exit that polygon. Wouldn't surprise me if they possibly extended that a little farther to the north. So I tell you what, with that in mind, let's do this. I'm going to pan over. I want to move this out, and I want to put a new track from this area right here, okay? So that's where we're seeing the circulation. So let's put a track on that, and let's show you where that's going to go. So it is about to exit the polygon.
This is a tornado warning.
And we have a new tornado warning now in Arkansas for Arkansas County, Monroe County. Severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was near or just to the south of Stuttgart, moving to the east at 45. Again, for the next 43 minutes, new tornado warning in Arkansas for Arkansas County and Monroe County.
It's going to move into Gates at 9:03, Belle Eagle 9:11, and then we'll see it move into Maury City at 9:15. I want to go back to Patrick. I understand he's got a great shot.
He's got a shelf cloud.
He's right outside Marion, Arkansas. Let's take a look at it. Oh, wow. And look, it's hard to tell until the lightning lights up the sky. But you can see that is a rotating supercell thunderstorm moving through there right now. Patrick, are you with us?
Yeah, guys. We were heading up to where that report of the 18-wheeler being flipped over or on its side was.
This is a tornado warning.
And we now have tornado warnings coming in for Tennessee now for Dyer, Gibson, Henry, Auburn, and Weakley counties. Severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado near Newbern or near Dyersburg, moving northeast at 55. Again, a tornado warning in Tennessee for Dyer, Gibson, Henry, Auburn, and Weakley counties.
I think this is Jericho exit. You see the lightning popping off there. This thing's got a lot of wind with it as it's moving across Highway 64 down near Crawfordsville. So, I mean, where we're kind of sitting right now, we're kind of in the line for some strong winds that are going to come right at our face here very shortly. You can see the shelf cloud right there. That would be an indication of strong winds. Maybe not a tornado, but definitely straight line wind potential that will come along with it.
Yeah, that makes sense there, Patrick, as far as that shelf cloud goes. And appreciate the images you're able to bring us here over at the studio at Action News 5.
We've got an RDOT camera that gives us a different view of that same storm. And look, the other side of it, it's tranquil, nothing to show you there. Nothing to show you there. Patrick's right in the heart of it right now. Let's go back to our first alert Doppler radar, show you what is going on, the storms that are still moving through the area right now. We have 4 active tornado warnings that remain this evening. Again, the first warning just to our southwest, but that is for Arkansas and Monroe County. But Phillips County, I want to give you your first alert because you're likely to see this cell move on in and impact you, that tornado warning could be pushed into Lee or Phillips County. So with that in mind, it's going to move into DeWitt right around 8:44, Marvell at about 9:26, Lexa 9:40, 9:50 into Helena, should get into Forest City at about 10:05, 10:20. It will move into Hughes about 10:27 into Crowder, and Batesville at 10:43. Now, just to the north of that, we've got another cell and another tornado warning. This again is for the town of Forest City is under this one. We've seen a lot of activity in and around there. Let's see if we can pick out any distinctive rotation.
Don't forget, what do you got? Forest City, too, last on Sunday, saw a bunch
This
of
is
hail.
not a tornado warning.
New tornado warning now for Crockett, Dyer, Gibson, Haywood, Lauderdale, and Tipton counties. Severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was near Fort Pillow, or 7 miles west of Ripley, moving northeast at 60. Again, new tornado warning. Crockett, Dyer, Gibson, Haywood, Lauderdale, and Tipton counties for the next 35 minutes.
Forest City is the one that's the most ominous. What is your skid showing on that?
So we got a 4.7 right now as far as that skid goes. That approaches Forest City. Yet again, this is a known as the Barron Tornado Index. It's on a scale of 1 to 10, and this is a 4.7 that is popping up right now. And the storm top here is at about 43,000 feet. So these storms, Ron, even though I feel like they've kind of trained over the same areas, or at least we've had a bunch of rounds going over the same areas, the height of these storms has not decreased really whatsoever.
Not at all. These are maintaining high. And look, those are those strong upward vertical velocities that we were looking at, because basically we've got all this warm air that's just being sucked right up into the atmosphere, and this is what is feeding all of this. So you got very cold air aloft, but then you get that warm air mixing in from the surface, and that's what's creating the big problems. Let's see Patrick's latest shot right now. I hear it's looking pretty good, or starting to intensify a little bit. Oh, wow. Yeah, we're seeing a lowering cloud deck. Is that on the ground?
There is one new tornado warning for Illinois.
No, that's trees. Those are trees. Those are, okay.
This is not a tornado warning.
And a new tornado warning now for Illinois and Indiana for Wabash, White, Gibson, Posey, and Vanderbilt counties. Severe thunderstorm capable of producing both tornadoes and extensive straight-line wind damage were located along a line extending from near Carmine to near Mount Vernon, moving northeast at 60. Again, new tornado warning Illinois, Indiana for Wabash, White, Gibson, Posey, and Vanderbilt counties. We have another new tornado warning now that's just in for Arkansas for Lee and St. Francis counties. Severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was near Morrow, or just to the west of Mariana, moving northeast at 40. Again, for the next 37 minutes, new tornado warning in Arkansas for Lee and St. Francis counties. You're watching continuing coverage of a tornado outbreak live here on Stormwatch America. I'm David Dutton in the Stormwatch America Command Center here in Atlanta.
The next several hours, especially as this front lays down, stalls out basically on I-40 tonight, and then tries to work its way northward later on. Starting to hear the wind picking up here. Again, we're in east central Crittenden County. And, of course, the heavy rainfall now beginning to move here. But, I mean, this thing has had so much lightning with it. I mean, it is lighting up the sky.
Yeah.
And that in of itself can get folks a little worked up as well. But the winds, you can kind of tell when we zoom in right there, the wind is blowing directly at the front of the truck.
We had lightning strike a tree here in Midtown today. You would not believe the look it left behind on that tree, Patrick. So the power of lightning, tremendous. And, yeah, as you mentioned, lots of it tonight. Brand new tornado warning just issued moments ago. This is for Lee County. National Weather Service just issuing that. We were looking at that cell right there around Forest City, but they were also picking up on that other area that we were looking at. Let me throw the scope on here, and there's a little bit of rotation right here. Yeah, you can see that area right there. That is in western Lee County, so that was giving us a little concern. This one right here seems like it's falling apart to some degree, but let me clear this out, and let's put a track on that portion. And by the way, the new tornado warning for that county, that is for Lee and St. Francis counties. That's going to go until 9:15 tonight. So with that in mind, let's pop this up. Let's put a track right here, and let's take it off to the east. And look, if a cell is going to impact the Memphis Metro, it's likely going to be this cell right here because it is making a beeline in our direction. So Aubrey at 8:44, Mariana 8:56. Then it moves into Forest City at 9:11. Should get into Widener at about 9:17. We'll see it then move into Council at 9:21. Then 9:26 into Hughes. Tunica Resorts, it will move into your area at 9:34, and then we're going to see it get into Parkin, Arkansas right around 9:43. So new tornado warning tonight. We've got another one that is just to the north of that. That tornado warning, I do believe, is set to expire at 9 o'clock, so another 20 minutes left on that one. Then the one just
This is
south.
a tornado warning.
And we have new tornado warnings now in Kentucky for Caldwell, Crittenden, Livingston, Lyon, McCracken, Marshall counties. Severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was for Reedland, moving to the northeast at 65. This is in effect for the next hour. Again, new tornado warning in Kentucky for Caldwell, Crittenden, Livingston, Lyon, McCracken, and Marshall counties. New tornado warning now in Indiana for Hamilton, Madison, and Tipton counties. Tornado-producing storm was near Noblesville or near Anderson, moving northeast at 65. Again, for the next 33 minutes, new tornado warning in Indiana for Hamilton, Madison, and Tipton counties. New tornado warning continuing for Arkansas in Lee and St. Francis counties for the next 32 minutes.
Tipton and Mississippi County, as well as a portion of Lauderdale County, southwestern Lauderdale County. That goes until 8:45, so you got about another 4 minutes on that. It'll be interesting to see if the National Weather Service decides to extend that or just let it expire. I'm looking for areas of potential rotation. Don't see anything there, but I do see a little something right here. And we do have an active tornado warning that remains in effect right there as well. And that is another warning that is just to the west of that. Let me clear this off and give you the first alert on this one. That is for Crockett, Haywood, Lauderdale, and Tipton counties. That's going to go until 9:15 tonight. So let's put a track on this and show you where that cell is going to go. Once again, let me take a close look one more time just to make sure I'm identifying the proper area of potential rotation. Looks like it is right there. I'll move the scope off. Here we go. Yeah. So with that, let's track it from right here and take it off to the north and northeast. So Ripley, 846. Then that's going to move into Gates at 9 o'clock. Again, the center of circulation, that's what I'm tracking. The leading edge of that and the potential for some hail is going to move in ahead. But as far as the rotation, that's going to come into Gates at 9 o'clock. It'll move into Maury City at 9:13. Then we'll see it move into Dyersburg at 9:18. Everybody in Dyersburg, stay in the storm shelter. Don't go anywhere. New Bern, 9:29. Yorkville, 9:36. 9:41 in Trenton. We'll move into Medina right around 9:49. Now, we also have another tornado warning that is for a part of Dyer County, but really that cell is exiting, and that is moving on out. As a matter of fact, I think they just removed Dyer County from that. But let me give you the first alert on it and the info on it as well. A lot of folks with students up around Union City. So Gibson, Henry, Obion, and Weakley County. You're under a tornado warning now until 9:15. You pretty much see that well-defined area of circulation. And look, we're hitting that at a pretty good distance. Now, we're tracking it right now from the Paducah radar site. But let me clear that off. Let's throw this scope on here just to make sure, again, we're seeing it in the right area. There's a couple different areas, actually. There's one right here, and it looks like there may be another one. I'm going to put 2 tracks on this, all right? So bear with me quickly. 2 tracks. I'm going to track this portion of it, north and east. That'll take it on into western Kentucky. So Hinesville at about 8:54. Latham at 9 o'clock. We'll move into Dukedom at 9:04. Palmersville, 9:10. Then we'll see it move into Stubblefield right around 9:17. 9:21 into Sedalia. Mayfield at 9:27. And Puryear right around 9:31. All these communities outside the Action News 5 coverage area, but many of you may be watching on the First Alert weather app or online, so I do want to give you your first alert there. Then there's another little area that seemed like it was right here, and let's track it from that because that'll move into Martin at about 9:08. That's that center of circulation that is in this little area right here. So right around 9:08, that moves into the UT Martin vicinity. Dresden at about 9:19, then Water Valley at 9:26. 9:31 into Palmersville. We'll see it then move into Wingo at 9:36, 9:43.
This is not tornado warning.
So that is what we're looking at there.
And new tornado warnings coming into Storm Watch America for DuBois County in Indiana. Severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was near Winslow, moving northeast at 45. That's in effect for the next 43 minutes. And a new tornado warning in Indiana for Hamilton, Madison, and Tipton counties. Severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado near Elwood, moving northeast at 55. And that's in effect for the next 13 minutes.
It's going to be a long night in the Mid-South. We have more hours of storms to track tonight, and it's really just continuing to hold together as we see a strong southerly flow that's just driving a tremendous amount of moisture from the Gulf right into the Mid-South, and it's just feeding that line. Just feeding it. So it's keeping it alive. There's a cold front driving this. Then we're going to see that cold front stall as we get on into the remainder of the week. And that keeps the threat of strong to severe storms in the mix again for tomorrow, for Friday, and for Saturday. First alert weather days, each and every one. And just give you a general idea on timing, this rain will continue through the overnight hours and into early morning Thursday. I think we'll see another round that develops.
This is not tornado warning.
We have a new tornado warning now in Illinois and Kentucky from Mazak, Pope, Crittenden, and Livingston counties. Severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was 7 miles north of Ledbetter, moving to the northeast at 60. Again, for the next 27 minutes, we have a new tornado warning for Illinois and Kentucky from Mazak, Pope, Crittenden, and Livingston counties. You're watching continuing coverage of a tornado outbreak live on Stormwatch America. Thank you for joining us. I'm David Dutton from the Stormwatch America Command Center here in Atlanta.
We still have a long way to go to get through early Sunday morning when we'll finally see a much calmer air mass settle into the area and a cooler one as well. But in the meantime, this is day one of what's shaping up to be a 4-day event. And Eric, I mentioned earlier, members of the National Severe Storms Laboratory are here in the Mid-South tonight as a result of the high risk that's in place right now and the potential for the long-track tornadoes that these storms are capable of producing. I notice you're looking at some of the storm threats. You want to talk about it?
Sure, I'll talk about that briefly. Then I'm going to send on over to Joe Birch because he's got a couple of damage reports updates. And Ron, I think you need a little 5 minutes to yourself too. You've been working hard at it for quite some time now. All right, as far as what we have going on in the Mid-South right now, the area that keep a close eye on is in southeastern Lauderdale County.
This is not tornado warning.
And we have a new tornado warning for Indiana, for Delaware, Madison, and Tipton counties. Storm capable of producing a tornado was near Anderson, moving northeast at 70, again for the next 25 minutes. New tornado warning in Indiana for Delaware, Madison, and Tipton counties. If you're in the path of the storm, basement, center part of your house, and you should be fine. If you're in a mobile home or a vehicle, evacuate to a blocked building immediately.
The warnings here across the Mid-South, they still do stretch all the way from western Kentucky, pretty much into the central portion of Arkansas. For the most part, these are tornado warnings, but there are some severe thunderstorm warnings that are embedded as well here. As far as the timing on some of this stuff, with those warnings, a lot of these, they're just going to continue to cycle.
This is a tornado warning.
New tornado warning now for Kentucky, for Callaway, Graves, Lyon, Marshall, and Trigg counties. Severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was near Sedalia, or 9 miles south of Mayfield, moving northeast at 65. Again for the next 35 minutes. A new tornado warning in Kentucky for Callaway, Graves, Lyon, Marshall, and Trigg counties.
I know you've been sitting here at the anchor desk kind of keeping tabs on things. Joe, what do you have as far as some of those different damage reports here around the Mid-South?
As you know, northeastern Arkansas has taken the brunt of the damage from confirmed tornadoes tonight across the Mid-South, and they are throughout the northeastern Arkansas region. From our colleagues in Jonesboro, we hear there is confirmed damage in Bono, Arkansas, Corning, Arkansas, as you've been reporting, Lake City and Monette, Arkansas, very significant damage. Leachville, Arkansas, Painway, Poinsett County also suffered damage, as well as Randolph County. Now, the National Weather Service describes the tornado activity that struck Lake City as, quote, catastrophic. The Craighead County 91135 in eastern Arkansas at Lake City and Monette are completely shut down due to multiple power lines, electric. That road is completely shut down, and they're asking everyone to stay away from that area. 3 injuries in Monette that we have confirmed so far. People are urged to avoid Lake City and Monette. The West Side Consolidated School District in Bono, Arkansas, sustained damage. According to school officials, classes have been canceled for tomorrow. And the Harrisburg mayor, Justin Kimball, reports downed power lines on streets there. Randolph County Sheriff Kevin Bell confirms damage on Trinity Road, River Technical College, and the Duck Levee Road near Reno. And so there's just tremendous damage across northeastern Arkansas. And I wanted to tell you about here in the city of Memphis tonight. Oh, let me tell you about Craighead County Office of Emergency Management. The area affected by the tornado in Lake City and Monette. Sources, County Office of Emergency Management, 10 to 12 homes damaged at Lake City, 4 minor injuries, and in Monette, at least 3 injuries, and crews are responding there in those towns of Lake City and Monette. Now, closer to home right here in Memphis, you should know that the inclement weather shelter is open tonight at the Hospitality Hub that's located downtown. I'm going to tell you a phone number here if you want to grab a pencil and write this down, or maybe put it in your phone. They're at 590 Washington downtown. If you know somebody who's unsheltered tonight, nobody needs to be out in this weather. The number 901-730-1736. So Governor Bill Lee of Tennessee has declared a state of emergency for the state of Tennessee in advance of this very serious weather that is advancing into West Tennessee at this hour. And at this time, I'm going to send it back to Eric Brill as we continue to monitor damage and other effects of the storm. Let me say one more thing. The MLGW folks have been working very hard to maintain the power, and it's been going up and down, but right now there's 5,566 outages in Shelby County. Eric?
Copy on that, Joe. Appreciate the service and the work on that as far as the numbers go, as far as some of the different damage reports here around the Mid-South. Worthwhile to point out some other counties as far as the outages. Looking at DeSoto County at about 1,000 outages, into Lee County 400, into St. Francis County about 900, Cross County 200, in Poinsett County 600 outages rather. Crittenden County, you are in the range of 900, Mississippi County 500, Lauderdale County 400, Dyer County about 1,000, and off into Hardin County about 1,000, while there are, 100 here into Madison County as well. As Joe Briggs did note, that number continues to fluctuate quite a bit here into Shelby County. Last check, we have a update of about 5,500 customers that are without power. All right, let's dive back into it as far as what we got going on here with the weather here across the Mid-South. I'm meteorologist Eric Brill. The time now is 5 minutes to 9 o'clock. Hopefully you are staying safe out there across the region. We certainly have seen a pretty rough day, a pretty rough evening here of weather around the Mid-South. We still have a few days to go before this event is going to be done and over with. Really, it's not until Sunday that we can finally confidently feel like we're out of the woods here. So trust me when I say, First Alert Weather Team, we can't wait to get there. As far as we have as with the one that we're keeping an eye on the most, as far as the different clusters of showers and thunderstorms here around the Mid-South, looking just around the Ripley area, there is a BTI number that's at a 7.2. That's the one that is catching my eye the most right now. Looks like that's
We have a new tornado warning in Indiana and Kentucky for Gibson, Boise, Spencer, Vanderbilt, Warwick, Henderson. Severe thunderstorms producing tornadoes and extensive straight-line wind damage were located along a line from Kaysen to near Evansville to Henderson, moving northeast at 70. Again, a tornado warning for Indiana and Kentucky for Gibson, Posey, Spencer, Vanderbilt, Warwick, and Henderson counties for the next hour. This is a dangerous weather situation. This line of severe thunderstorms is producing both tornadoes and extensive straight-line wind damage.
Hail as well, 60-mile-per-hour winds. This is racing off to the northeast here at about 60 miles per hour as well. If we take a wide view of things down to the south into Lee and Phillips counties, another area that has seen maybe not quite as strong of storms as some of those areas up to the north have, especially into Phillips County. But with that said, we have another severe thunderstorm warning that has been in place and is issued here for this portion of the Mid-South here. So that's those are kind of the general things that are keeping an eye on. We don't have any confirmed tornadoes that are on the ground right now, so there is at least good news embedded within that here. And if you're in northern Mississippi, you certainly did see some showers and storms here earlier this afternoon and evening. Right now, you are looking pretty high and dry. But, Ron, I'm just kind of keeping an eye on the radar here over into Tunica, DeSoto, Tate counties. It looks like we're trying to get some more discrete cells starting to pop up here just a little bit.
I think this system's going to get a late night punch. And as a matter of fact, forecast models were showing it starting to refire between about 9 and 11 o'clock tonight. So this initial line coming through, I'm going to be interested to see what happens right here, because the forecast models were showing this initial line getting right to the Mississippi River and then a little something forming in advance of it, maybe picking up a little bit of the outflow from that, giving it some additional lift or driving in a little moisture, just something to feed it. So we have to keep a very close eye right now for folks in West Tennessee from right around Hardeman County, Fayette County, Shelby County, as well as Marshall, Tate, DeSoto, and Benton counties. We're going to watch that again for the next few hours as it continues. Look, we're already in, what have we been on the air since about 2:45 this afternoon? So here we are coming up on 9 o'clock, almost we're more than 8 hours of coverage into this. So we are looking at still tornado warnings continuing to develop, but I want to show you we took a direct hit in Monette and Lake City, Arkansas. That is in western, I say we, but it's very close to the Action News 5 coverage area. It's right in western or eastern Craighead County. And let me zoom into the area there just to give you an idea of where this came through. And then I want to show you some of the video that we saw come out of there. So here's Monette, and then we've got Lake City that is just to the south and west of that a bit. So here's Lake City, Monette right here. Tornado went right through there. Let's show you the video that we have. This is a tree down. You see some damage to a home there. It looks like the portico may have been ripped off or maybe from somewhere else. So that is on Cherry Street in Lake City. Now, this is a live view, I do believe. Am I right? Oh, this is video? Okay, is this the only video we have at this time? Okay, our producers are in the on the booth, and look, this whole thing is unfolding right now as we speak because the community took that hit. We are also relying on our sister station KAIT in Jonesboro to bring us video and reports. We've got reporters in and around the area. Amani Williams is stationed up in Dyersburg right now. She's hunkered down in a storm shelter as Dyer County was under a tornado warning. I do believe, it is still, Dyer County still under this tornado warning. I think we're about to drop a couple of these. This is going to expire at 9:15. And then, Eric?
Yeah.
Am I missing something here?
What you
is
got?
That the only active tornado warning right now?
So I have one that's in
northern.
Yeah, because I did have one that was in northern Lee, St. Francis, and Cross counties, and that has been able to expire here. I will note, as far as Lauderdale County goes, the one that you were just keeping an eye on, Ron, there had been a little bit of rotation that was detected there, so we're keeping a close eye on that. You can actually see the shear marker that pops up here if you look just below and to the right of Halls. What I'm looking at here is this little cluster that's just to the east of Gates. That is where there could be at least some rotation. Just because that's embedded doesn't mean that there's a tornado on the ground here. If we give you more of a 3D look here, so this way you can kind of see what we're looking at here. You see the vertical pronunciation that's on this here, just to the northeast of Woodville. If we put on a skit, let's see if we have, hopefully all these numbers are low here, but let's see, we got a 7.1 as far as that BTI goes, and that's right around Halls, Tennessee. This is moving to the northeast here at 64 miles per hour. To give you a rundown, so on the right-hand side of your screen, that blue box, the severe, that's indicating that it's moving to the northeast at about 64 miles per hour. The max DBZ, 59 at 8,300 feet. That's more so detecting what kind of rain or if we have any sort of hail that's within there. The top of the storm, that's the height of the storm. Wow. It's at about 45,000 feet. Wow. The chance of hail being embedded is 100%. Severe hail, which will be an inch in diameter or greater, is at 80%. The estimated hail size is at 1 3/4 of an inch. And that build density here, it's pretty much trying to figure out how much water is within this column of air. The BTI finally here, that is the Barron Tornado Index, that is at a 7.1. So, Ron, just one, yet again, it seems like we're kind of seeing some of these tornado warnings sort of be a little bit more lenient, or not as many of them. It looks like we still got to keep an eye on this one here, even though it might not specifically hit Dyersburg, Dyer over into Gibson County. Got to keep an eye on that.
But folks in Friendship, you need to be in your storm shelter right now. You need to be in your safest place in your home because that rotation is moving in your direction right now. We still have the active tornado warning, as Eric was pointing out there. That's going to expire in about 13 minutes, but that storm's still showing signs of holding together. And with that, here, let me put another track on this quickly and just show you what it is we're tracking. So I'm going to bring that on through. And again, here is the area of potential rotation right there. That's where we're picking up that shear marker. So Hawkinsville, get in your storm shelter right now. It's going to move through at about 9:08. Friendship, 9:10. Crockett Mills, 9:14. Then it's going to move into Wilcox at about 9:18. We'll see it get into Eaton at 9:21. Brazil, 9:24. And then move into Frog Jump at about 9:28 this evening. Dyersburg, even though you are technically in the tornado warned polygon, I do believe you're in good shape right now. There's still some strong wind up there. And take a look in regard to hail. Wow, this was producing some big hail. Look at that, about an inch in size. So, yeah, the BTI on that at a 7. Whenever we see it at a 7 or above, that gives us cause for concern and an indication that there is likely circulation at the very least close to the surface. Once you get to an 8, 9, 10 on that, that's an indication that you definitely have a tornado on the ground, and that has been what we've seen today. But right now, the focus for southeastern Dyer County, northwestern Crockett County. Alamo, you seem to be in a good spot right now, but you're still in close proximity to these storms. But things are looking a little better for the entire area. However, here in the city of Memphis, my main concern right now is the potential for some damaging wind. Joe Birch was going over the power outages that we're dealing with around the area right now. Shelby County still dealing with some as well. And now we're starting to see the severe thunderstorm warning that's going to be in place until 9:15 tonight. That's going to usher in the potential for some stronger winds to come in from the west. That could lead to more trees down, in turn taking down power lines and knocking out power. So if you are east of this area right now, I want you to charge all of your mobile phones, your tablets, your computers. If you're up around Haywood County, Crockett County, if you're in Madison County, anywhere in West Tennessee, make sure all of your electronics are charged. And look, we're getting to 9 o'clock. A lot of folks are going to start going to bed soon. You got to get some sleep. And know that we're going to be tracking this through the overnight hours. We'll be giving you your first alert, but I want you to be able to have methods to get that. And in other words, you need multiple ways to get warnings, especially in a tornadic environment. We can't always rely on sirens. So oftentimes you've got heavy rain, wind, whatever, you may not be able to hear them. So you need other ways to get warnings. And the best way is with the Action News 5 First Alert Weather app. It's for Apple and Android products. And if you go to your app store, you can download it right now. Just search WMC. You'll find it right there. It's free. Download it. And if any warnings go off in the late and overnight hours, you're going to get your first alert right there. Also, if you have a weather radio, it hasn't been in use in a while, make sure it's plugged in, make sure it is turned on, make sure the volume is up, and make sure it has fresh batteries. Those batteries are a backup in the event that power goes out, and we can still deal with additional power outages as the evening continues. So here's what we're looking at right now. Again, we've got these severe thunderstorm warnings that are continuing across the area. But mainly, again, severe thunderstorms, and our main concern with these are the potential for wind. Can't rule out the possibility of a quick spin up, but I am encouraged by the fact that I've not seen any new tornado warnings in the last few minutes. But notice the wording is still there that a tornado is possible. So this warning is going to remain until 9:30. We're going to see the warning continue for Shelby County until 9:15. We go just to the north of that. I think the warning for Dyer County. Oh, yeah. So now a flood warning. And this is where things are going to get interesting, Eric. This is when we start to transition from a severe event into a flood event.
And Ron, we're about to have the National Weather Service. They're currently drawing up the lines for a flash flood warning that is going to include Shelby County, including the Memphis Metro. So while the rain really up to this point hasn't been we haven't really seen much rain here in Memphis. It looks like we're starting to get that line to really sort of approach us and eventually move over us here. And that's when we could really start seeing some issues, especially in those low-lying areas at first.
Right. And look, I know it's late, it's dark, but if you're in an area that's dry, there's no lightning out there, and you're ahead of this line, and there is a drain or drainage, drainage ditch, whatever you want to call it, just make sure it is clear and that water can flow through it. Make sure there's no debris clogging it or over it. Take some time right now if you can, and you can do it safely, because moving the water out of here is going to be essential, because we are still on track for a tremendous amount of rain in the coming days, and we're going to see this continue, as I mentioned, well into the weekend. So we've got another round of severe weather coming our way tomorrow. Could even see 2 rounds, one in the morning, another late afternoon and evening. I think we're going to be in for a long night tomorrow night. We're looking at isolated to widespread, strong to severe storms on Friday, and then another round Saturday. So a lot of rain is going to fall, and it is quite possible some parts of West Tennessee, northeastern Arkansas, could see up to 12 inches of rain. Memphis on track to see anywhere from about 5 to close to 10 inches of rainfall as this system moves through. So I want everybody to be aware of that. Eric, you've got a pretty good view of the rainfall just so far today, just in the last 12 hours, those are some impressive rainfall amounts.
You know, and even, Ron, if you flip it over to the past 6 hours even, I was wondering if that was going to be a little too quick in time here. But even that's bad. There's been a whole heck of a lot of rain. So don't forget, folks, we had a whole entire cluster of strong and severe showers and thunderstorms and even tornado warnings that did move through northern Mississippi and western Tennessee. And those allowed for some rain to fall here. Didn't have any confirmed tornadoes, I do believe, on the ground out of those. But we definitely did have a bunch of hail reports that did come out here between northern Mississippi as well as western Tennessee. What's interesting about these rainfall totals, if we could turn around and take links full here, the amount of rain, or just the rain really kind of lining up almost parallel to the Mississippi River, whereas if you're east of it, there's not as much. If you're west of it, that's where there has been quite a bit of rain here, especially over the past few hours. The exception to that would be in Ripley, Tennessee, as well as Dyersburg. We take some pixel queries here and see what we got for some of those rain totals. And I will note that this has a tendency to overdo those rain totals just a little bit. We're looking still at about 2.5, 3 inches of rain. So that's a great point. That's a great point.
There's a lot of hail out there, so that can skew the rainfall amounts.
So that was Chief Meteorologist Ron Childers noting that it could be skewed a little bit by hail, as far as pretty much that this radar is detecting that the rain fell and hail fell, and it's detecting as being pretty much that much rain that actually did fall. So that's a great point, Ron.
I still think it's close to about 1.5 inches to 2.
Yeah, we have the same thought process with that here.
Yeah.
And most of that really being west of the Mississippi River at this point, because really in northern Mississippi, we haven't really seen much rain here over the past 3 hours at this point or so. So at least there has been a little bit of a lull there. Going back to some of those severe thunderstorm warnings and tornado warnings that we have here across the Mid-South, the majority of them for the time being are severe thunderstorm warnings. We don't have too many tornado warnings at this point here, but still want to make sure that we do talk about those. Heading up to the north here into Dyer County and into Crockett County. Definitely don't want to forget about you guys over to Gibson County as well. A little closer look at some of these. Let's see if we have any impressive numbers that are popping up on the skids here. Hopefully they're relatively low. Still have a 7.2, and that number was the same over towards the Ripley, Tennessee area. This is still moving off to the northeast here at about 60 miles per hour. So it is moving itself to the northeast here rather quickly. But if you know anybody in Friendship right now, you are wanting to make sure that you're in that safe place. Put as many walls between yourself and the outside world. If you can, put a blanket over your head, or at least some pillows or a helmet, ideally. Dyer, this is not Dyer County, but Dyer, Tennessee, 929, Trenton at 929, Rutherford at 932, Bradford at 938. These are all the times that you want to make sure that you are within your safe place here as far as the next half an hour or so goes. Ron, looks like we have that flash flood warning that was issued here, and it does include, as noted, the Memphis metro area. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to turn off some of these severe thunderstorm warnings, so this way we can kind of keep an eye on everything here. So we're going to turn that off. We're going to turn that off. What you see here as far as that pink or purple, whatever color you want to classify that as goes, that is the tornado watch that is in place. Turn off everything else, and even with
tornado warning. Was that a brand new tornado warning I just saw up there, Eric?
Over towards, it looks like Lauderdale. I guess that one just popping in here. Huh. I don't see that as far as the update goes, but that has to be a new one.
It can take a minute, because that's going to go until 10 o'clock tonight. So that is going to be for Crockett, Wheatley, Dyer, and Gibson counties.
Okay, so this one is the one that's the further to the northeast here.
Yeah.
I gotcha.
Yeah, that was it. They're just tracking that little area of rotation. We were just on that.
Yeah.
So that's moving outside of our coverage area.
Right. And hey, Ron, you know this as well as I do. This isn't the first time you've done this. As far as we have a wider audience too than necessarily what we could depict at times, as far as people over into Gibson County, Madison County as well. So we want to make sure we do take care of those folks. But as far as what we have with that flash flood warning here, as far as just the general area that is accompanied within this, what I want you to look at, let's do this. I'll flip this over. What's something that's relatively tame right now? Nope, that's not too tame. You could do that one. So I don't want you to necessarily look at the top of your screen where it says debris tracker, but instead I want you to look more so how wide of an area that these flash flood warnings do engulf. These include the vast majority of the Mid-South that is to the north of I-40, and it also does include pretty much all of northeast Arkansas at this point here. These flash flood warnings, they are around, these are going to be in place here probably for a few days at this point here, but these are around until just after midnight here on Thursday morning as far as the one that includes Shelby County goes. So the time now is we'll call it 9:14 here on Wednesday evening. That means we still have 3 hours to go before that these are going to be able to expire here, and I wouldn't be surprised if they get extended. I think there's a better chance they get extended than that they necessarily expire here. So
I want to ask, where is Patrick right now? Is he still out? And can we talk to him for just a second? I hope. All right. Hey, Patrick, we got your live shot up right now. It looks like we're starting to flood events, still dealing with some severe thunderstorm warnings. I'm wondering what your thought process is and where you guys are headed to. Maybe time to head back to the ranch. What are you thinking?
Well, we were. I was just mentioning a second ago, right before you came to me. It seems like that storm that is moving into Friendship, Tennessee, wall cloud associated with that. So moving through eastern portions of Crockett County, we've got a wall cloud associated with that storm that's now moving up to the north and east. I'll be moving into Gibson County here very shortly. But again, Friendship and northeastern portions of Crockett County, go ahead and be in a safe place. But I do want to let you know that what we're going to do, and actually as we're going past here, I don't know what overpass that was. I think that's the walking overpass over here right before you get to Watkins. There was water in the right lane that was into the interstate. I don't know if y'all saw that on the camera. So what we're going to do, we're going to go up Austin.
We have new tornado warnings now for Weakley County in Tennessee, for Caldwell, Crittenden, Hopkins, and Webster counties in Kentucky, for Delaware County in Indiana, for Calhoun, Cleveland, Dallas, Lincoln counties in Arkansas, and continuing for Crockett, Dyer, Gibson, and Weakley counties in Tennessee.
From not necessarily full-on severe weather, though there will be some embedded severe weather, wherever this front, that's where the flood threat is going to emerge.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, you have done an absolutely stellar job today, bringing us some incredible video views. You've been all over West Tennessee, down in North Mississippi. I believe you were there for a hot second, and then coming around and up through eastern Arkansas. But we still have a long night to go. Eric and I are tracking these storms here, and I'm thinking maybe it might be a good idea to bring you and Garner back to the station, because we still got to get through the morning tomorrow as well, and it'd be nice to let you get some rest and then be raring to go. And by the way, for those of you watching at home, Patrick Ellis has been up since about 1 a.m. this morning. So it's been a long day for him, and we still have 3 more days to get through. Again, an amazing job tonight. Thank you for the work you've done and for the views you've brought us, and really just...
New tornado warning for Callaway, Graves, Marshall, and Trigg counties in Kentucky for the next 42 minutes.
Severe thunderstorm warnings that still continue tonight. Memphis and Shelby County under a warning right now. We've got a couple of things going. We've got the severe thunderstorm warning. That is going to go until 10 for Crittenden, DeSoto, Shelby. But we're also seeing flood warnings in effect right now. And I can't tap onto the flood warning, but these are going to be around for a little while. So it keeps wanting to hit the severe thunderstorm warning. But did we have the Monette video, you guys? I want to show you this video. This was from X tonight, and this was sent to us, I believe, by Dave. Am I right? Is that the video we have? It is. This is the Lake City tornado. Okay, here we go. So this is from Kyla Yancey. This is the Lake City tornado that devastated that community. Yeah. Absolutely devastated it. The Monette and Lake City shut down tonight as a result of damage in that area. First responders there checking for, and I don't think we have any reports of fatalities,
Correct.
Do we?
Correct.
That's good news.
There have been minor injuries, I will say that.
Good deal.
And for those of you that don't know, as far as where Lake City, Monette are, those are in eastern portions of Craighead County here. You don't know where Craighead County is, that's where Jonesboro is. If you don't know where Jonesboro is, you're going up about, what would you say, Ron? An hour and 15 up the road?
Yeah.
So this storm originally
New tornado warning for DeBoss, Perry, and Indiana for the next 25 minutes.
Because this was even near Harrisburg at first, then it moved through Bay, Lake City, Monette, and it did even scrape the far northwestern corner of Mississippi County here near Leachville. So as far as that given tornado goes, that is the strongest one that we've seen thus far, and I believe that's the only one that we've had any sort of confirmed damage with. I'm not 100% sure about that. And Ron, obviously, feel free to chime in if you know of something else here. But that was a nasty tornado.
Here's what I'm thinking right now, and this is for you, Eric, and the folks in the booth. Here we are. We're coming up on a 9:20. We have, I do believe, covered up all of our new Chicago episodes tonight, and hopefully we're going to be able to re-air those, and we'll get a statement out to you all on that. But we are getting a little close to 10 o'clock tonight, and I think it would just behoove us to go ahead and stay with this through 10, and then try to start Action News 5 at 10 if there are no tornado warnings that are in the area at the time. So, Eric, you got another 40 minutes left in you to track some more storms.
Ron Childers, I got all the time. You know, this is between you, me, Patrick Ellis, and everybody else here. We want to make sure we keep everybody safe. I definitely got 40 minutes left for you.
All right, good deal, because this is going to give us an opportunity to track these severe thunderstorms. Let's make sure the tornado threat is diminishing. I don't want to stop too soon. I also want to keep a close eye on the heavy rain that is falling right now. And I do want to get to Action News 5 at 10 because, look, this weather has turned into a news event with damage up around Craighead County. We have had multiple reports of tornadoes in and around the area. We've got crews scattered all across the Mid-South tonight. Amani Williams is still hunkered down in the storm shelter in Dyersburg tonight. I think Kim Clark is still at the emergency center in West Memphis, Arkansas, so maybe we'll be able to hear from her as well. But let's go ahead and continue to track these storms up until 10 o'clock tonight. So you guys in the booth that are with us, you folks at home, I invite you to just hang with us and let's watch this because, look, this is about to impact the city of Memphis and Shelby County right now. And quite frankly, over the last, we've had, we're going in now to our fourth week of severe weather. We've had 3 weekends of very active weather. We've seen very little of anything away around the city of Memphis and Shelby County. Storms have been to our north, to our south, and to our east. But now we're seeing a pretty significant part of this line coming on through the area right now. And even though it is just a severe warned thunderstorm itself, I think I want to continue to watch what's coming in back behind as that makes its way into the city and just get folks here in Memphis and around the city just safely through this. And look, we're not going to stop tracking it by any means because we're still going to stay here through the overnight hours and keep a close eye on the first alert Doppler radar and any storms that may redevelop tonight. But given the fact that we're close to news time, let's go ahead and just continue and push on through. Joe Birch, if you have anything to add, please feel free to chime in. You get any new damage reports. But right now, it's all about tracking these severe thunderstorms. The one tornado warning that we still have in effect right now, this is for southeastern Dyer County, Gibson County. It's for northwestern Crockett County, Weakley County. This is for you right now. So let me zoom into that area and show you what is going on there.
And I will say, actually, Ron, with this storm, actually, there is apparently a confirmed tornado that is down 9 miles east of Fulton that is moving to the northeast here, 20 miles per hour. It's located near Latham, Latham, in that area. I know you're about to, I think, track it out here, so what you got?
Let's take a look at it because I can see the inflow notch on that. Let me just make sure that I'm in the right spot more specifically. So this is just to the west. Oh, are they looking at that west of Dyer? Because that looks like it is the most.
I'd agree with you as far as that, yeah.
As far as the potential for tornadic activity goes, move that off. There's definitely something up there. Put that back on. There's something right there too. But look, we're hitting this at about 90 miles from the radar site. So we're hitting that storm right around 3,500, maybe even close to 4,000 feet above the surface. So it's interesting to see what may transpire down to the surface. Just checking to see if there's any hail in it. And yeah, we got a pretty good hail signature, which is usually indicative of a supercell thunderstorm coming through, and its ability, a rotating supercell thunderstorm, its ability to possibly produce a tornado. The BTI on that still holding in at a 7, I do believe. Taking a look at spectrum width, you can see all the turbulence that's right here in and around this area. Trenton, I want you to get to your the safe place in your home right now. Get to your storm shelter, get to the lowest floor of your home, because that is definitely coming on through. Let's go ahead and put a track on it, and I'll track it from this little area right here. I'm going to put another track up around Dyer. So Mount Orange, 927, 933 into Trenton, 937 into Dyer. Barron's Corner, 939. It'll move into Tucker's at about 941. We'll see it get into Rutherford at 943. So that tornado warning, again, remains in effect right now. That's going to go until 10 o'clock tonight. So it does incorporate the town of Dyer, or the county of Dyer, just to the south and east. But I do want to mention Dyersburg. You are not under a threat of a tornado from this cell. It is well to your south and southeast, so you're in pretty good shape there. Alamo, it is just to the north of you, so Crockett County, yeah, still under that, but we've got a heavy cell that's still dropping a lot of rain right around Alamo, but the tornadic threat north and east of you, Humboldt, you're in the clear, at least in regard to tornado potential, but at the same time, there's still a lot of activity out there this evening and a lot of storms to track. So here's what we're looking at right now. Let's go back into this cell that's right here in southern Arkansas. That is for Lee and Phillips counties. That tornado or severe thunderstorm warning is going to remain now until, what is that going to go, until 9:30, I do believe, 9:45? Let's see. There we go. Oh, until 10. So that's going to stay until 10 o'clock tonight. I'm going to pan just a little farther to the north. And then we've got the severe thunderstorm warning that remains in effect for Shelby County. This is a big one again. So that too, that remains until 10 o'clock tonight. And that is going to be, again, for Crittenden, DeSoto, Shelby, and St. Francis counties. So a lot of precipitation associated with this. And look, let's take a look at the rainfall rates, because flooding is really going to continue
just
to
south
be a
of
big
Covington.
issue.
You went to the
Look at
same
that.
spot I eyeballed.
2 inches. It's coming down to 2. I want to see if it's skewed by hail. Oftentimes, if the radar is detecting a little hail, and there's a little something right there,
Right near
maybe
Munford.
pea size, but I think primarily that's heavy rain for the most part. So we go back to the rain rate, but that's a lot of rain coming down. And then you get right down there just to the near Drummond's, coming down at about 2.73 inches per hour. Shelby Forest, you're getting some heavy rain right now, just under an inch per hour, but there are some pockets of heavier precipitation, right around 1.5 inches in that area. And look at this, in eastern St. Francis County, we're looking at close to 2.5 inches of rain per hour. And now these little
We have a new tornado warning in Indiana now for Jackson, Lawrence, and Martin counties, and a new tornado warning in Indiana for Hancock, Johnson, Marion, and Shelby counties. Also for Orange County in Indiana, for Caldwell, Christian, Lyon, Marshall, and Trigg County in Kentucky, and for Spencer and Warwick in Indiana. Those are the latest tornado warnings.
Fall is nothing more than runoff, and that's going to lead to the potential for some significant flooding in those areas and really all across the Mid-South. We do have a flood warning that is in our flood watch, we have multiple flood warnings.